leave your echo cancellation and the reduced background noise off. Don't check them off. I fixed them for you already, so just leave them how they are. 5 minutes, folks. Let's close it out good. Of course, he had to finish it out.
God, I love when that damn smelly finger bastard comes in here. It just makes fucking things right.
Wait. Apparently, I can no longer eat Marmite
Because it turns you black and white.
because it makes me black and white. Is that right, James?
Is that right now?
Oh, I can't hear your mic.
Oh, he's got a mic.
He's got a mic, but it's not connected.
Oh, okay.
He needs to figure it out.
Yeah, typical JD in fashion.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's
Okay,
fine.
just.
Oh, there we go. Barely.
Whoa.
Barely hear you. Let's see. If I turn you on.
Such soft, subtle words. From
Say
JD.
testing. Say, I love Marmite. There you go.
Oh, well. The way you made that sound, it sounds like, yes, you love Marmite indeed.
Just testing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you,
Yeah,
Steve.
we can hear
Good,
you.
good.
James' mic is a little low, but
It's super low. Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to bump the gain up on that. It sounded like the mic was in your ass, James.
and I don't think
No,
anyone wants a mic in
it
their
sounded
ass.
like he had a full mouth of Marmite and trying to talk at the same time.
Yeah, that's what it could be.
That's what it was. Man, that was great. That was really, really
That
good.
song was for Tracker Jack, because Tracker Jack knows we haven't done a hip-hop vibe yet on the show.
A hip hop / jazz type hip hop vibe, and
Yeah, I think that was
It's-
more jazzy bluesy for me than hip hop.
yeah, I mean, I guess
I
you
don't.
know.
Hip hop. I feel like it's quicker than just smooth. Like you're just
Yeah,
That was more jazz.
Maybe the
Chrome.
sax.
Yeah.
Hey, here I am.
Hey,
Hey there, Chrome.
How's this new microphone?
Oh, it sounds.
Well, why didn't you fucking have that for your interview?
It sounds better than Marmite's microphone.
I had to rush out and order this, spending all of $15 on
Yeah,
it.
Oh,
Okay, so James's mic sounds like it's muffled.
oh, wait, it was a little better, James.
It sounded like Richard Hawkins.
Yeah, there's like some
Yeah, a little bit.
like a compression or something like going on. Like it sounds like I'm talking like this to you,
Yeah,
James
that's exactly how it
right?
sounds.
Yeah.
And the way you're holding the mic, James, is
It's like you
you're
an
getting
MC or
like you're
something.
an MC.
You about
No,
to
no, no!
rap.
Don't put it in your mouth. Just hold it and.
For crying out loud,
Yeah, I
James, it's
can't.
been in your ass. Why would you put it in your mouth?
Oh wait! Okay.
No, this is a kid-friendly
No,
show.
don't do it with your don't
my
put it
God.
on. Don't hold the cover. Look, you're not a rock star female you know they always hold their mics
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
MCs do that shit, too.
God, it's so annoying.
Terrible, shocking.
Okay, look.
Now you sound like Steve's songs or musical pieces from, what is
Okay.
it? Lucis Sound Waves.
Oh
or
yeah,
radio
yeah.
waves.
Okay, look, take it from
Beacons.
Beacons.
me. The beacons. James, take it from me. I'm a female. Hold it from the shaft, not the head.
Oh, well.
She's not lying, James.
Trust me, it'll be way better.
Oh. Now you see, I have no dog in this fight. You're on your own, James. You've crossed into territory.
I can nor confirm nor deny.
Yes, you've crossed into territory where I am not privy, sir.
James, I might be able to help you. I had the same problem with the mic on this StreamYard thing. If you go into the settings down the bottom, go into the mic settings. My one was right down. I had to peak it right up before it would work properly. Settings down the bottom, little cog.
There you go. Leave Steve here to the rescue.
We got tape pusher in the house.
Have you got it?
Yeah, it's maxed out.
It's maxed out.
Yeah, it's maxed
Oh,
out.
okay. Windows problem? Or is it a Mac?
Out. No doubt.
What's your signal flow?
Like a toilet.
I think it's being connected through your synth, right?
Good night, Davey.
I'm gonna try some at the back of the set.
He's gonna try something. Okay.
The master volume should work for his.
So the
synth,
master
right?
volume is all the way up, and it shouldn't be a internet or anything issue because we can hear it, so it has all the permissions necessary.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
It's a gain problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Or what did Apollo say? Is it a Phantom mic? Phantom powered?
That's not phantom powered, is it? It's a little dynamic.
No. I think it's
Could be, but
Oh, really?
it's connected. No, it's connected with the
Connected,
cable. Yeah, I see the cable.
Night, Davey.
Night, David.
Good night, Davey.
Num num.
So, if I can just address the point that was made earlier on,
Maybe that's louder.
Oh, it's a little bit louder.
tiny bit.
Is that
Yeah.
better?
Oh, there you
That's a
go.
little
Keep
bit
going.
better.
Keep going.
Better?
Keep
Any
going.
better? Any
Keep-
better? Any
Keep going,
better?
keep going.
Yes. Right
Hello.
there. Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
There
leave it,
you
leave it,
go.
leave it there. Do not touch it. Okay, say James Dyson loves Marmite.
James Dyson loves Marmite.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I can do that as well.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Steve did it really good too.
That's my soundboard.
Steve, what were you saying?
I was just saying, everyone was spotting the saw.
Oh, the
behind
saw.
my-
Yeah. Did you see the saw behind him?
Yeah, I saw. I was like, "What the hell is he doing with a saw in
yeah,
this?"
yeah. It's an
studio?
instrument. It's an instrument.
It's to play, you see. No, not really. I use it as a saw. It's the only place I can put it. It's just a nice, convenient place. I just thought, where am I going to keep this damn thing? It was.
So he hides it
I've
there.
got an idea.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's that? Well, that.
Wrong
I'm afraid
shape.
yeah.
Yeah, Rob. That's going to
afraid.
hurt. It's not as pleasurable.
I'm afraid to ask what
And for Uncle
Dyson's
Chrome,
idea it is.
I have got a violin. It's outside somewhere.
well, you're supposed to bow it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
You
The
are
saw.
indeed.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So let me get this right. The saw is indoors. The violin is outdoors.
It's not outdoors. It's just outside the door.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Just behind that door,
Well-
there's a shelf above it, and there's a violin case.
Oh,
if the saw and the violin actually get together, it's not going to be good.
No,
Yeah.
No.
That's why I
No.
keep them apart, obviously.
No, no.
Yeah. Conflict of interest there.
Yeah, I really love that song that you guys were doing. That jam.
I think
It was good.
That was something.
Yeah.
I think
It was
Vicky.
nice.
I think Vicky wants it on the album. And if that's the case,
I think so.
Since James,
Hey, Robbie.
Since James already jumped in, I mean, you might as well feature on that one, James. You got your fingers already used
Hey,
to it.
Robbie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got
Sounds
it.
good. Hi,
Yeah,
Robbie.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, he said,
This-
"I'll help you make it better."
Whoa, hang a minute. Whoa. Was that the voice of James Dyson?
That was
Yes,
the
it
voice of
was.
James
It's a
Dyson.
Dyson.
Voice of
It- yeah.
dark side.
It also sounds like Darth Vader,
Yeah.
but it really is James Dyson.
And he does
yeah.
it so well. He does his
Yeah.
own voice so well, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
So the problem started.
Wait, okay, so
Go ahead.
here, so now it's official. James Dyson will be featured on this one.
on this
Okay.
song. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
On this
Write it
particular
down.
song that doesn't have a name to it yet.
Yeah, it does.
Hoover
It- what
Killer.
does?
Yeah, it's-
Hoover Killer.
No, it's called Tracker Bap.
Oh, that's right. Tracker Bap
Tracker
as the
Bap.
boom
Okay.
baps.
Instead of boom bap, we call it Tracker Bap.
Okay. So Dyson is in on this one, which means there's one spot left.
Tracker.
So he hasn't said yet.
Well, Tracker has to get on it. It's named
Yeah,
after
I mean,
him.
he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to.
Yes, he does.
No.
Why do you think he's here? Because he was forced. He was strong-armed to be
Only
here.
if I tell him.
Staying quiet.
Yeah, he is staying quiet. Yeah.
No, Tracker Jack.
He's smart,
Tracker
James.
Jack has some things going on. So, but when his things aren't going on, it's Tracker Jack and it's James Dyson on the featuring of this album. It's already
I
been
got
solidified.
There you go. Done.
I have a wide-known niche to make some side money, some side hustle. So I'm going to drive up to Alaska, go sell these Eskimos ice real quick, get my plane ticket, fly out to Germany, and then pick up Tracker Jack.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
It's going to make you tons of money.
Tons of money.
Robbie, what was that bottle you were opening up?
Oh, just bottle of red.
Red blend or
It's like a what is it? It's an Australian thing. It's called Jammy Red Roo. It's really nice just to drink on its own.
every time Robbie comes in, I always want a bottle of or a glass of wine.
Damn
I
Italians.
generally do make people alcohol.
Yeah.
Says much about
Okay,
you
I didn't
there,
say
Robbie.
alcoholic. I just said I wanted a glass of wine.
It says much.
Says a whole lot.
Oh, jeez.
Where's everybody at with the birthday team set up because our birthday is coming up here shortly.
Next week.
Next Friday.
I can't wait for you to hear mine and Panda's.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
right. How far are you guys in?
Pretty much 98%.
You know, Panda is going to
Yeah.
be on it.
Oh, we
Yeah.
were both on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Steve
Yeah.
and Panda, forget it. That was done within the hour they got picked.
And
Oh.
can I say that he is a joy to work with. He's absolutely fantastic. I've
Nice.
had a
Yeah.
ball, an absolute ball.
Yeah.
Are you guys on the
And-
same
and
time
he's-
schedule?
What do you mean? Me and Panda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Panda is so knowledgeable,
Yep.
like so incredibly smart about music and music production and everything. It's just amazing.
What's really good is I've tossed him a few ideas and he's gone, that's fantastic, except let's do this as well. And he's added to it. It's just, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Nice.
So was there no bickering?
Nope.
Was
No.
there no frustration?
No arguments, no frustration, not at all.
Really?
No, butter. Absolutely
Really?
fantastic.
Oh my God, that damn Cressy! I tell you.
Cressy, it says Cress Dyson,
Yeah.
the voice.
See,
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Paul is going to sell sand to people. I'm going to sell ice to Eskimos. We're going to make a killing.
Cressy is going to sell burgers to McDonald's.
Yeah, Cressy's going to do that, but Paul and I are going to be millionaires by the end of this
And
month.
Robbie is going to write all about it.
How to sell ice to an Eskimo
Report
and
coming in.
sand to a Hawaiian.
Okay. What Steve? I guess what you don't. Well, maybe you do know, Steve, but Dyson and I were trying to get together on a private session.
Well,
to-
he does know. That's why he was helping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, yeah. So
so
now,
so thanks,
I
Steve.
kind of
Yeah.
initiated it.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So now we can. This was a great test because prior to today, I think James tried pretty much everything, so he had to order a microphone.
Yeah, did you order that, Mike? Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap, so. No big
Oh,
deal.
good. Okay.
Yeah. So now we're able to do classes and stuff.
Was it more than $15?
Sweating
This guy.
now.
He's going to have to sell a few more sound packs there, isn't he? To
Yeah, he is.
Dang it. You better hurry up and work.
Ashley, I really want to sample James right now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
This is
I
a rare
know.
occasion. He's like this elusive white wolf.
Yeah, but that mic and the sound is just proper.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you, is this your first time trying it, James?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So there you go.
There you go.
Try holding it
Sometimes-
further back. That might help.
Well, no, hold it
move.
on.
I mean, well, it
The
seems to
shaft.
have a proximity effect, so you want to figure out the different proximities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah,
That is
right there.
Less
Perfect.
bassy. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's perfect. I told you.
Damn.
James
Less
would-
radio, more Dyson.
So this is that when you hold it out in front, that's like lounge singer James. When you hold it up to your mouth, then that's black metal James. And
Yes. Yeah.
If you hold it about 3 feet, that'll be
Yeah.
true.
bit of napalm death. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I see. I try to tell you, hold it from the shaft, not from the head, but
Correct.
nobody listens.
That's it.
Cressy, come down on your volume.
I can.
adjustment.
No, I can
Oh,
bring them. I
she's
can bring
got
them
it.
down.
Never mind. Never
Yeah.
mind.
I'm adjusting
Sort your
everybody else's.
mic out, Cressy. Jeez.
What's he say?
He says, "Sort your
Sort
fucking
your
mic out."
mic out.
He said, "Sort your mic out, Cressy."
You'll be the one to tell me that. You're
He
the mom.
couldn't wait to tell you that.
So maybe it was a bad thing giving James a mic.
Any regret?
I don't know. It might have been a good thing. It made Robbie quiet.
Yeah. Damn it.
Well, help test my mic out now. Okay, so this is lounge singer Paul. And here's metal Paul. How's that? Is it? No?
No.
Oh,
no.
no. Not much of a difference.
You're
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, you got to get the cheaper mic version
This
that
is
James has.
This is clearly not metal rated. So
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
God, it kind of makes me wonder. It kind of makes me wonder with natural singers like Tina Turner and Eric Clapton and B.B. King. Do you think the microphone mattered with these artists, or could you put them behind anything and it will do them justice.
Ooh. I think
Yes, the mic
the
matters.
mic matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Really?
mic definitely
Yeah.
matters. Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you can change a look at Dyson, for example. He was holding it from the very tip, and it sounded something different.
Yeah.
And then he put it away and hold it
I love
from
when
the
you're
shaft.
microphones. It's tip and shaft.
Yeah, and it sounded
mean-
so much better.
She
is
is,
there-
a, she is a woman.
Is
As long
there,
as it's not tip and ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
is there a different definition? I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the standing mic that most singers would agree with, and that's the SM58. I don't think someone. I mean, I know there's other mics out there, but sure did shore up the fucking microphone
Yes.
game with the
And-
SM58.
Well, I think that's because you can stand like anywhere on that mic,
Well, and drop it,
and it'll
and
pick you up,
still-
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've dropped mine so many
We know
times.
what Michael Jackson used for Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
What was that?
The SM7.
SM,
Oh, the SM7.
SM7B.
Was
The
it a
ones that we-
7B?
Really?
Isn't that the cheapest Shure microphone?
What the
No.
fuck?
250 quid.
450
Keep
quid.
going.
I think so.
Yeah.
More than that.
250.
Keep going.
Well, how much did you pay, Robbie?
I paid 370 a few years ago,
Oh,
and they
wow.
cost more now because they see the best thing to do with an SM7 is because it's dynamic. Therefore, you need to give it a bit of a lift. So you buy a little thing called a cloud lifter as well, which gives you an extra sort of 20 dB.
Yeah.
Sure, finally did the right thing and got together with the company that makes cloud lifter. And now they sell this with the cloud lifter built in.
Built in. Yeah. That's what we have.
Yeah.
What did
SM7B currently on Toman at £325.
Right. Jerry says the Beta 87. I'm not familiar with that one.
He says he wants the Beta 87.
The Beta 87.
Oh, he said he wanted to say that. That's what Michael was using.
Just say it, Jervis. Feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or come on in and
Well,
say
you
it.
guys, do you say Beta 87 or Beta 87?
Yeah, come and join us, man.
Yeah.
Just open your windows and scream it out.
Yeah, there you go. I'm still trying to get Paul Holmes to come in here.
Yeah, Paul Holmes is afraid of Cressy.
Mr.
Cressy will run Paul Holmes right off the
Yeah, I don't
damn
know
show.
why.
Oh, he said Clapton was using the Beta 87.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, Get Jarvis said, give me $5. $5 bucks?
God damn it, Dyson, we should have never gave you a mic.
Hold it from the goddamn shaft, James. I'm trying to tell you something.
Do what Vasquez says.
Thank you. Thank you, Robbie.
Have you seen the aliens out there? That's right, you have seen no aliens out there. She's killing them all.
I've never
That's what they
even-
hired me for.
I've never even heard of artists complaining much. Maybe because I'm not a singer, but is there a thing artists are having an issue with what particular mic works best?
Oh, yeah.
I can say something about that because certain things sound different if I use this mic or the mic behind me or the mic that's right next to you
Oh,
guys.
yeah, the Sennheiser
Completely
44
different.
one.
Yep. And
Yeah.
if I'm utilizing different ones, then I need to remember to do different things on them
Right.
because it's going to sound completely different.
Yes, that's true.
And preamps matter too. So
Yeah.
Preamps.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of variables in the equation, but certain singers have a specific mic they like. And, Michael Jackson with the SM7, and I know others have liked a collection of German expensive mics, but it's really
Neumanns?
It's a yes.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
But let's be honest.
But I think it's just you got to try with because voices and there's so many variables, right? It's the room and the equipment and all this. So it's like a synth. You just for that particular application, you bring certain things out and try it. And
Yep.
Agreed, but let's be honest. Michael Jackson could sing into any fucking mic and be golden. And I'm sure that goes for
Not right now, he can't.
Adele.
Yeah.
That
No,
goes,
not
well,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Not
but
right now, he
that
can't.
goes for Adele, Sam Smith. Or, you know what I mean? Like a lot of
Yeah.
these people that naturally have a great big voice,
Yeah.
sure.
they sound really
Yeah, like
good.
Kosh Takai said, a lot of artists demand certain mics, and they probably their agents put that in their rider. Like if you're going to hire them on, this is a certain
they need.
Yeah,
Some artists
requirements.
actually bring their own mics into the studio.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
They find a mic that works for them, then they go out and buy
Yeah.
it, and then they take it to the studio and say, "This is the mic we're using."
Yep.
Like
Not
there
everybody,
was
some
there was
people
the Frank Sinatra mic at Capitol Studios. It was a big old tube mic that that was the one he'd use, and they always had that ready for him when he'd show up.
So pretty much like carrying your favorite guitar or favorite instrument.
Yeah.
Singers carry their favorite microphone with them and handle their
Makes sense.
business.
Some vocalists have very good vocal technique, and some vocalists do not. And you have to like throw the kitchen sink at them to like try and control them. You can see that when you see, I mean, again, Michael Jackson when he's singing, the guy's all over the place. He's not stood in front of the microphone at like 8 inches and sings the whole song. He backs off when he needs to back off.
Right. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, you
he
know how to
knows
use the
where
mic.
his voice is about to go, and he pulls back.
Yeah, Cressy, stop
with
scaring
Frank
people,
Sinatra.
would you?
And Vicky's mentioned the AT2020 is one mic that I think definitely hits outside of its weight class because a lot of people recommend it, and I've got a 35 that.
I wonder what
for about $200, it's a great condenser mic and
Yeah.
useful on a lot of stuff and all.
I wonder what
Okay.
mic James Dyson loves.
Ones with a switch.
Poundland.
Which one?
Poundland.
Put
Cheap
it away from your mouth, and then speak.
The other thing to note about microphones is it's a bit like guitars. The more you spend on it, the less you get. As in the advantage you get. After a certain amount of money you spend on a microphone, your return on more investment is diminishing every like 100
Law of
quid.
diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's,
Wow.
Again, it's part of the signal chain. So what are you plugging that microphone into? A Mackie preamp or
Oh yeah,
a,
if you've got a
a
shit
good
lead,
quality Neve or what?
Great, yeah, it's a great microphone to a shit lead.
Yeah.
Dyson, do you have your mic in the synth like you said you were gonna set it up?
This is straight into me audio interface.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No fuss. Bang.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I need to know what's the verdict on James's voice for being understandable compared to Sam? Because
Oh, I can understand Sam. Oh, I can understand James.
Oh, James
no
is
problem.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, I still cannot like everybody needs to be quiet so I can understand people.
is Sam talking like you're on a YouTube video and you've got it set it on ×2 speed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
rabbit.
Yes.
Oh, wabbit.
Yeah.
His night
Where is Sam? Hello, Sam.
Oh,
I want to get my own back. You had to go at me earlier. Oh, I'm gonna get your own back.
Crazy Rabbit said, "My night is ruined hearing James's voice. I better not see Cressy's face."
Yeah, I think Rabbit's losing all his mystery.
Yeah. He loves the mystery. Yeah.
That's like putting my face on. Rabbit would be like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm done with YouTube."
Yeah, Wagyu says James doesn't even have much of an accent.
No.
He really doesn't.
Oh no, he said Sam doesn't have much of an accent. Yeah, he does.
Oh, Sam, I mean.
Yeah. Well,
James.
Sam. Yeah.
James
Sam.
is a full-on mank.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Mank.
You are.
I don't know, but I agree.
You're right.
Come at.
You're right.
Guy from Manchester. Sounds like
Yeah.
some Oasis, basically.
You're a mank. It's not an insult. Trust me.
Yeah, I got.
He's smiling.
I can't.
Look.
100 miles per hour.
Me.
He's not a
yeah.
Banks. He's got a tail.
And that's exactly how Panda talks. 100 miles per hour because he has so much in his brain. I feel like he needs to like just whatever's in his brain, he needs to let it out all at once.
Right.
And no, just slow down.
He can't control the flow.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. We can take a step back.
And he doesn't even take the time to say, "Did you understand anything I just said?"
No, because the answer would always be no.
Yeah. I might say yeah because you don't want the poor bastard to go through it again.
Or try to get him to just slow down a bit and be like, slow down. Let's take a deep breath and let's start over.
Yeah. Where in the hell is Kent Spung? The
How's
guy
he doing?
the guy
Hopefully
is
tucked up in
recovering.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably,
is he,
yeah.
Is he doing better?
Is he doing better?
He was on the show yesterday, and he was.
Yeah, he
he
wasn't-
was
he
not the
wasn't-
full ticket.
No, he
Yeah.
was not.
Yeah, he
He
was
was in
pretty
chat.
quiet.
Yeah. He was in chat, but when I saw him yesterday, he was not the full ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that bastard.
Apparently, Uncle Jerry wants to come in, check in the chat.
Oh, come in.
Come on, knock on our door.
Can we
been
have two
waiting
uncles
for
at
it.
once? Is that
Sure. It's called Unk the Funk.
Yeah.
Unk the Funk.
When are we gonna get that? When are we gonna get that song? When are we gonna get Uncle Jerry?
An Uncle
Uncle
Chrome
Chrome.
song.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to do the birthday jam together, but
Well,
that
no,
was not to
because
be. So
yeah, no.
he's not ready yet, right? I thought, Jerry, you're still working on your setup. So.
His studio
Oh,
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yep.
He's moved it, didn't
We got,
he? Or
we
he's
got a
moved
lot
it
of
from-
future projects like that when these folks get their
When he's
setups.
up and ready.
Who were
Yeah.
you working with, Chrome?
I'm working with Cloudface
That's right,
and,
Cloudface.
And me.
a certain
That's right.
woman.
Yeah,
That's right.
And right
That's
now,
right.
I'm just waiting on Marilyn's vocals. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's in your park now.
Now
huh?
they're waiting on me.
Hey,
almost ready, yeah.
how's Cloudface to work with Cloudface?
Well, it's kind of like working with Kent, except he actually gave me a file.
Ah, shit.
But I didn't have to do any video capture from YouTube or anything like that. But
Mhm.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's been kind of MIA, but he gave me something early on, and I've been going crazy with it. You know that. You
Yeah,
give me
it's-
data, I'm gonna make soup out of it. So
Yeah.
So far, what
Yeah.
I've heard is it's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, you got monkey
you-
brains over there.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
yeah.
you sort of got a verse of it or whatever.
I do.
and-
Yep.
Not that I do verse chorus, but
Yeah.
Didn't Tracker Jack say he was gonna help Cornish because Cornish wanted to come in?
Oh, for the birthday jam?
Yeah, I thought I saw something about that in Discord.
I don't know.
Confirm this, Tracker. Were you gonna help Cornish, or is that a no go?
I think if that's going to be something that Cornish wants to do, I think maybe Cornish needs to let Steve know, because I know Steve communicates really well with Cornish and gets things accomplished, like
Yeah.
as far as like computer stuff
Right.
goes.
Oh, that's right. There's got to be a transfer of
yeah,
information.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, okay, your friendly IT support here.
yeah, yep.
Check.
Did it for a job.
Yeah, we hear you, Jerry.
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my webcam. It says I'm streaming.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Like I said, this is a crude setup.
Are you on Mac or PC?
PC.
And you're on Google Chrome.
I am, yes. Well, I'm using OBS and I'm on Google Chrome and YouTube.
Oh, you shouldn't have to involve OBS. You should just click on the StreamYard link.
Oh. Let me shut that down.
Yeah.
yeah.
You may want to.
I'm sorry. I was confused.
Can you get
Can-
your webcam up in any other app?
So
Let's
it'll
see
do
if that.
StreamYard. So StreamYard will do it for you. You don't need OBS.
Oh, okay.
Eliminate OBS completely. You're confusing your computer.
Okay, I just shut it down, but it's still only showing
So you may have to go back in the settings
of
and of
StreamYard.
StreamYard, and then go to your video and then click
Oh, yeah. Okay.
the
Hold down
webcam.
the name or something.
Yes. Okay.
And I know this only because of Robbie.
Don't blame me.
There. How's that?
There he
There
is.
you go.
Okay.
See?
There you go.
Well, there we go. But I can't see my. Okay, let me move this over.
We can see you, mate.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Yeah.
I needed to be able to see myself. I'm looking over here, and you guys are over there, and you know.
Oh yeah, no, we see you.
But the audio's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
audio's
Yeah.
good.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm moving stuff out of here back into the studio. So when Marilyn said jump in, I'm like, I don't have anything set up. So I just yanked my mic back.
There
My
you
audio
go.
interface was still here because that's what I'm using to rate shit right now. And so I do have a semi setup still here, but I'm moving what I had set up back into the studio, and I'm gonna do my YouTubes from there. You know, live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can
Whatever.
hear you. How's your back doing? I know you said it went out. Not good.
Mm-mm.
No.
It just it comes and goes. Comes
Yeah,
and goes.
I hear
It
you.
Sucks. It just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
A fucking world full of back problems out there.
Right.
Ask Tracker
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
ask Tracker Jack how his back is doing right now.
Oh man,
He's
Do you use a back brace?
I
Hey.
do not.
That's one thing I
I'm
got.
in.
It's like the kind.
Yes, you're
that,
in. You're in.
The
He's
guys at, like
in.
Home Depot wear, you know.
Oh yeah,
and-
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
when my back
be
gets twitchy,
jiggered.
I put that thing on for a day or something, and that.
Closer to the mic, boss.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good
get-
to know.
Yeah, it's weird
Check
because
it
I
out.
can't see you all.
Yeah, thanks for the advice.
but I can hear you.
You can't see us, but you can hear us, huh?
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Just get closer.
Yeah, I can't.
Just
I can't see
closer,
anyone
not
at
eat
all.
it.
This is wild.
I'm not gonna
Hold
set
it
up
by
for
the
this
shaft.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hold it
Oh,
by
thank
the
you,
shaft.
James. Thank you, James. Tell him.
If I reach
Tell
down,
him.
can
Way
I
out of
pet
focus
Jackson?
as well. I
Oh
feel
my God.
floppy.
See.
Jesus, Jervis.
Jervis, what
Get
are
your
you
shit
doing,
together.
Jervis?
Honestly, these professional streamers.
Wow, really? Tell me
telling
all
ya.
about it, Robbie.
They should eliminate the professional and just say streamers.
Considering
right?
what we spoke about earlier, Jason, I'm reconsidering. Don't eat me. Don't eat me. That's me, that is.
That's Robbie 2.0.
That's Robbie 2.0.
I can't. We can barely hear you too.
Blame it on the
We'll get
cats.
twice.
Yeah.
It's,
there you
it's
go.
only because he's away from the mic.
Yeah.
No, but his mic is pretty hot usually.
Wait.
No, Jason's
Oh my
pretty hot.
god. I had the stream on at the same time as the backstage.
Oh,
so
there you
30-second delay. And I was like, what is going on?
There you go.
It's late, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Full House, Hollywood
House.
Squares. Here we go.
Well done, Ken.
Brady Bunch.
Oh, and there's Ken.
Oh.
Okay, now we got a proper full
Wait,
house.
and
Oh my
now we
God.
got.
There we go, Sam.
Sam,
Here
you've
we
ruined
go.
the symmetry. You've
Wow.
ruined
Here we
the
go.
symmetry.
Here we go.
Sam is the symmetry.
Now my
Sam is the
OCD
symmetry.
is just raging.
Robbie is like, God damn it! How can I fix it? How can I fix it, Robbie? Let's see.
Kick Cressy out.
When you say OCD, you actually mean penis.
Actually,
That's
Fucked up.
that is fucked
I'm going to
up.
duck out for now myself. But I'll be back.
No.
I will be back, but
Where you
dinner
going,
has
Crow?
arrived, so I got to.
Oh, dinner arrived.
Oh.
Dinner.
Oh,
But
preference.
before you go,
Oh,
Paul,
Okay.
before you
Yeah,
go,
so-
we've known each other online for quite some time, and
That's true.
last
I
week was
just
the
heard,
first time that I ever saw your face. And I just wanted to say hi. It was,
Wow.
lovely to see you, and I really enjoyed your thing last week, and it's
Well,
great
thank
to
you.
see you after all of these.
Oh my God, the
years.
links is
I
out.
appreciate that, and I appreciate seeing your
links.
face every week. On the other hand, so better you than me. So
Look at Kid Jervis
well,
in the
I enjoyed
links.
that, and
Those cats.
but you're keeping me from my food, so go away.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
so bye.
Go, Paul. Go.
Get out of here.
That's one of the things that I like
there we
about how we do these interviews with the people that we come across is we finally get to see their faces and know a little bit more about them.
Look.
That's
Right.
But
like the
can
best
we
thing.
can
That
we
is.
just like focus? We have the links
Oh my God.
on
Is that
S.O.R.
Jackson?
Blow him up. Blow him up.
We
Oh, look at Jackson.
we are now.
Don't
we-
show his genitals.
Oh my God,
Look at the size of that pussy.
Who thought pussy had a penis?
Size.
Robbie!
Look at the size of
Damn
that
it!
pussy.
Jervis, now handle my shaft. Jervis.
Oh my God.
What a floofer.
Show them what cats are made of.
Okay,
Jervis.
we can now quit YouTube happily because we had links on our channel.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Blew it up for us.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
We've made it.
That is a huge fucking pussy.
Oh, and there's a wait. You want to see a black one?
Yeah.
There
Oh,
you
hang
go.
on.
Well, the problem is I can't hear you guys because I haven't got my earphones on, but I thought you'd like to meet Luna.
Oh, I do.
Who doesn't
like
wanna be
black
here, can you
pussy.
tell?
Look
Wait,
at
excuse
that.
me. What?
What?
What'd you say?
That pussy's too skinny,
That's
bitch.
little Luna. He used to sit on the bench, but hasn't got a space now because I've moved stuff about, so she goes underneath. Anyway, I'm going to let her go.
You ever hear the whole saying, "Don't cross or don't have a black cat cross your path"?
Yes, yeah, because it's bad
yeah.
luck.
But yeah,
I
but
always
no
have
one
black
ever said don't have a black pussy cross your lap. That's quite all right.
That's quite all right.
Uninterfered with.
I like how Jervis came on in his jammy jams.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Jam.
Practicing for tomorrow.
Yeah, he is.
These are new today as
Cheers,
well.
Kosh.
I've just
Oh, they're new
Oh,
today.
the brand new crispy
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pajamas. Look at that.
thrift
Yeah.
store special.
Starched.
Okay, since we have everybody here, this
Turn
is,
Jervis up. I could barely
Sure.
hear him.
So Jervis is maxed
Sorry,
on
I'm
my
miles
end.
away from my mic.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There you go.
So,
Okay.
you know, there's that.
Jackson's
Oh.
showing
Yeah.
his
Sit on my
pencil
pipe.
sharpener.
That's going to go in my mouth.
well, since I have everybody here,
What's wrong with pussy in your mouth?
nothing.
What? I don't mind the pussy. It's the pipe. I don't want to.
It makes it very hard to
That's a lot of hair you
enunciate.
got to deal
That's a
with.
lot of
though.
hair.
Sometimes it's 2025. We shave that shit nowadays.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
Jeremy's
it.
still stuck in the 80s.
Yeah, get out of the 80s, dude.
This YouTube is never gonna get monetized. We're done.
Not
We're
Your
done.
hair's tickling your knees.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
my back's hurting.
It's gonna hurt now, Jerry.
Yeah, you fucked up, Jerry. You done came in here.
Jerry, it's called call your doctor and request gabapentins.
Yes. Oh.
Drugs.
I'm just saying it hurts when I laugh, and I'm laughing so hard.
You come to the wrong place.
It's only gonna get worse from here.
It really is
Take those
gonna
pain
get
meds now. But real quick, while I have everybody here, and it's a good thing we have a full house. It's pretty much a pet peeve of mine, and I'm wondering if anybody feels the same way, because it is 2025, and I know the music scene is different for everyone in here. But how does everyone feel about the bullshit commercialized Grammys that just took place, and they're calling these people Album of the Year when they obviously haven't heard true freaking albums of the year, right? There's so much music out there, and I know it's commercial, and it's what everybody follows as far as the commercials.
May you?
But what do we think about the Grammys and these fake artists? Go ahead, man.
Are you talking about maybe the Beyonce winning country album?
I'm just saying.
That was insane. Come on.
That was
like-
insane.
It's all an industry circle, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You got to know somebody, and then you got to do certain things for people, or you just won't
That's
get
a smack in the face to
Yes.
country music. If
Yeah,
you
It
ask me.
really is. It's
Yep.
like Jethro
was
Tull
about
winning
time
the
it had
best
one.
metal album in 1987. Was it 88?
Who?
Against Metallica. Jethro Tull won the best heavy metal album for Crest of a Knave. Not heavy metal. It's rock, maybe.
Right.
But they won it to avoid or to stop Metallica from winning it, who rightly should have won it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's all about that kind of shit. So she would have won it to stop someone else from winning it, or
Yeah.
for some other reason. But it's not because it's the best country album. Christ, I bet the country music scene is absolutely in.
Is there one?
Yeah. This is like
It
this
is
is like having Barry Manilow nominated for the Heavy Metal Band of the Year.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
You might need them.
I know not everybody's on our Discord, but the ones who are, did you guys see the meme that Cressy put up
Oh, the
this
meme
morning?
was genius. Can you bring that meme up?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
It was priceless.
But it's not the
didn't see it.
people making these choice, and they say it's the critic people of choice. But what kind of census, if
Hey,
there
Steve.
is a census, who's casting these ballots, and is it really commercial? And it's just we're going.
I know a few people on the Grammys panel, and that panel is not a small panel.
Yeah.
It's a very large panel, and
Well,
those
like-
people will. Like, I know a guy called Jason Miles who is an incredibly. He used to play with Miles Davis and a whole bunch of other people. He's on the Grammys panel, and even he was complaining about the things that had won because they weren't anything like the things he voted for. So yeah, it's almost like a token gesture. Most of these things will I'm sure have been pre-decided based on release schedules and marketing plans and all that kind of stuff. It's just a big circle chat. There you go.
That's brilliant.
I about died laughing this morning when I saw that.
God.
Brilliant.
Fucking
You
hell.
could just totally tell the difference.
Really? I can't tell the difference. They're identical, look.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Shit.
Is that the
burned me
Beringer
out.
version?
Say it
Huh?
again.
Is that the Beringer version?
No!
God damn it.
Start that
Don't go there,
shit.
Dyson, you
Oh my
motherfucker.
God. Oh my God.
Good one, Robbie. Was that you, Robbie?
Dyson
That
doesn't
was
say
good. Good
anything for
job.
20 years, and this is what he's going
And
to say.
yeah. Jesus.
Is that the Behringer version? Jesus. Yes, it is.
That's exactly what it was.
I mean, it looks like a horse. but it don't always sound and work like a horse.
Oh,
I mean, what
man.
does
No,
the
it's impersonator, isn't it?
right?
Yeah.
Real
What
thing.
does mainstream music? Does it even account for 1% of what's really being heard in the world?
Okay, I want to hear from Panda, but everybody shut up.
Okay, go ahead.
Speak slowly.
Go ahead, Panda.
Okay.
He's now on half speed.
Yeah, right. What do you think, Panda? Tell us.
Well, it's probably not going to be 1%. I think it's such a minute amount of music that goes through mainstream because you've got all those lunatics doing synthesizer music, and then you've got everyone else who's playing with bands, singer-songwriters that are in a corner of a pub. There's going to be so much new music that they're going to overlook. That it does feel a bit like a popularity contest amongst the already popular.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I agree with that.
The thing is, labels don't get behind bands anymore because there's so much more work involved working with a band. They just want someone like an Ed
money.
Sheeran, like a Taylor Swift, like it's all just one individual that they can shape and mold and control.
Marketable.
Yeah, and they don't want bands anymore. They don't. invest in bands
Also,
anymore.
the listening landscape has changed dramatically since we don't buy albums as in vinyl anymore. We can stream and get tracks from all over the place, and also single tracks rather than complete albums.
Yeah.
It's massively changed in the last 20 years or so.
Well, and on top of that, you can get pretty much free music too at any point in time. If you are that person who wants like music all the time, you can go to YouTube and listen to free music all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But for those people that are highly commercial, right? For the audience that's highly commercial, the Grammys make it seems like the music industry is saturated, and there should not be any other artists but the ones that they put in power.
Jervis, are you allergic to the links?
I think I am. I'm fairly allergic to cats, I think, generally, but they're molting.
Good
He says
job.
with the
Cat owner.
hairiest pussy next to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very hairy.
Get that mic closer to you, Jervis.
I just stuck a
There you
meme in
go.
the Discord, Marilyn. I don't know
Oh,
if
jeez.
if it's
Okay.
relevant.
I'm gonna
Given
get
the subject, given James's joke.
it. Okay. I'm going. Hang on.
There's a funny story behind that meme as well. That's a funny story.
God, what for start?
Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna share it. Give me 1 second before you tell the story. That's hilarious. Here we go.
Yeah, I was. Go ahead. No.
Okay. There it is. It buried your R&D department.
So the funny story is that picture has been going around the internet for years and years and years. And a few years ago, a friend of mine who's a producer in LA said, that fucking picture of my cat going through my Moog is on the internet again. That's Tim Curtis's cat in Tim Curtis's System 55.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That
Gets
is
no
too
credit.
funny.
Cat's long dead.
Well,
Well,
all 9 of the lives.
So no comeback then.
No.
That's crazy. Crazy. Somebody keeps playing with their mic.
It's not me.
Well, I've stopped now.
Look,
Everybody's
that's
like,
just
Certain
like-
person has his mic under the
Everyone
keyboard
just
there.
shut themselves.
Yeah.
hands up.
Yeah, exactly. I can hear the
Hands up.
doing this. Like
Yeah.
this. No.
He's working the shaft.
No, he's not. He's working the head. He needs to stop. It's not. Jesus. There he goes. He keeps doing it. James.
See, we should have never gave him a microphone.
Never given him
He
a
needs a
mic.
headset mic, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he needs a hands free.
Yeah.
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 Like, yeah.
Why does he look like he's on an oil rig in the 50s?
Oh, because he ate a
Maybe
lot of
he is.
Marmite.
True. Looks like he's in a cabin, isn't he? Or a prison cell. One of the two.
He had too much
Yeah.
Marmite apparently.
Oh, well,
You
That's
guys
where-
see Echo Craft's latest what Synth Hefner? He's in that robe with that patch on his eye.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He looked like General Chang from Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. That Klingon guy.
Yeah. Yeah. God damn.
I texted that to him. I never got a response. I don't know.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, he makes that eye patch look good though.
Yeah, he
give it to Echo. He's stylish with anything.
What
he
does Lamar always call him?
my bald-headed
My
friend?
bald buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Kent, how you feeling, man?
Shit.
Mm.
Hi, Sally.
Absolute dog. Mind you, I'm feeling a lot better today.
Good.
I'm gauging each day by how many times I fall over.
Oh Jesus.
And today, so far, I have fallen over once.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
But I mustn't look down. If I look down, I fall over. If I look up,
Is it labyrinthitis?
yeah, it's
Labyrinth?
something. It's
Yeah.
It's been traced down to being a infection in the middle ear.
Oh yeah.
I got
yeah, it's a bugger.
the tinnitus in this ear. God, I've had some incredible soundscapes in this ear.
Sample them.
Including,
Yeah.
you know,
Through your nose.
I was telling you about that one about the metallic tinking, like
Yeah,
two
you were
blokes
saying
standing
last
in the
night.
distance hitting two metal bars every now and again. And you think, oh, that's quite interesting. Not fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, it isn't.
No.
So, yeah, and I spoke to a health professional, I think is the most accurate term I could give them, in what is basically a chat room.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, have you exposed yourself to excessive amounts of noise lately? And I go, God, I haven't repaired a DX7 for weeks, so it can't be that. And they said, what else has been going on? I said, oh, well, I'll tell you what did happen. I said, on the Monday, I had this acid reflux that was, beyond stupid.
Yeah,
And he goes, there you go. Excuse me? What the fuck has that got to do with my middle ear?
Yeah.
He goes, did it get up into your throat? I said, yeah, up into the throat, top of lungs. But I was very, very, very asleep, and it took ages for me to wake up. And he goes, there you go. I went, so everything I've suffered for the last 2 weeks, from trying to get out of a chair to go to the bog and falling over, to I've heard nothing in stereo for 13 days now. And all of that is all because of Welsh cave cheese.
And the overindulgence.
Well, yeah.
The
You
cheese
know what?
can't-
You know why a single doctor specializes in ear, nose, and throat, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and cheese can't eat itself. Can't the cheese had no part in it.
It wasn't the cheese. It wasn't the cake. It was the overconsumption of said items.
That's the thing about this. I like a bit of cheese and I like a
A
cracker.
bit of cheese?
But
Keyword,
no,
a
no.
bit.
Honest to God, I was sitting there, and I'm slicing cheese and putting it on a bit of thin piece of cheese, put it on a cracker, and munch, And we're there and we're watching. I can't remember what Fiona was watching. I'm just sitting there, munchy. And every now and again, Siri's head comes over. Goes, there you go. There's a bit for you. Then Lily, and the rest of it. And it's just munchy. And the next thing I know, I've consumed 3/4 pound of it. And, it was not my intention.
You ate cheese for a family of 10
For real.
Well,
for a week.
a very short, small family of 10.
Yeah, but it's still a family of 10 for a week.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Too much.
and it was too much. And going straight to bed afterwards was
Yeah, that was a killer.
the worst possible thing I could have done. So I brought it on myself. It's all my own stupid fault. I got customers screaming at me, "Where's my Jupiter 6?" I go, "I don't fucking know."
No, where is your Jupiter 6?
Yeah.
I haven't got it.
And stuff like that. And today I got this notification. I was minding my own business and going, right, I'm starting to feel better now. The room doesn't spin anymore, and I can actually sit upright. And I only lean slightly because of this freaking tinnitus, but and there's this bing on my iPad. I went, oh, let's see what's going on. Oh, hang on a minute. Go to my bank app.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
dear.
no.
Oh.
You're like, that's not good.
I'll have to go to Bank of Fiona in a minute.
Damn.
Yeah. So apparently it was the milkman. The milk bill had come in, and the bank had gone, no, sorry, insufficient funds. I'm sorry about that. And then it was a bing. Go, what's this one? YouTube Premium. You can't have that anymore. I'm not watching fucking adverts again. So yeah, and so I've got a shit load of work to do next week, and I'm going to have to try and do it kind of sitting on the settee and doing everything on the coffee table.
You need an assistant. How about you get Fiona to help you?
Well, just between you, me, and the gatepost. Do you know what time Fiona got up?
No, what time?
About an hour ago.
6 o'clock
Wait,
tonight.
PM.
She's working the night shift.
Not AM.
She decided that she would like to watch Veronica Mars and then binged the whole fucking thing.
Damn.
Right, and she's getting later and later and later and later, sleeping later and later. And now she's got herself to a point where I'm going,
She's up with
good
you.
night, darling.
Yeah.
And she's going, oh, good morning, darling.
Oh, no. She changed her circadian
Well,
rhythm.
I mean, she's
Yeah,
up with
gotta
you.
get
I
all
mean, but
shifted
look,
back.
Kent, you're always up. You and Robbie have been on this channel at strange fucking hours, man.
And Sam.
Oh,
Jervis
And
has
Panda,
the common
yeah.
sense to go to bed.
Well, Jervis has the common sense at least to come in with his pajamas.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, Sam is just weird.
Bedtime drink.
Yeah.
You see, the thing, for me personally, going to bed at what we will call, for argument's sake, inverted commas, sensible time, is something I used to do when I was in the 9 to 5. And I'm not in the 9 to 5 and haven't been for like 4 years. And it's just something you don't do.
Jeez.
Working from home is killer.
Well,
it
Sam does
takes
it.
discipline.
Sam does it because he's young. He's got that young blood to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, if you're young, man.
He's like,
He's
yeah.
got youth.
Well, no, I finish work at like 10, and if you do your 9 to 5, you'll go to bed at 9. So if you take that 4 or 5 hours after you finish work, and then just add it to the end of my shift at 10, I'm going to go to bed at 3, aren't I? Because I've wound down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, it's hard for you to wind down if you're off at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a discipline, and most of us being musicians, I don't know about you, but I'm a night owl. I'll always be a night owl.
Yeah.
Just just from
I think
working
it comes
as a
with the
kid.
territory, doesn't it? It does
Yeah,
come
it
with the
does.
territory. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when I played live back in the day, it was 10 to 2. So you were getting home at 4 a.m. You
Yeah.
know, and that was 2 nights a week back when I was doing it. And then, you're young, you can take it, but when you get older, you can't do that stuff.
I've always said that. The only people that are up at those hours is law enforcement, healthcare, and musicians.
Musicians.
Second to the bad guys, but I won't go into that.
And
but-
medical professions too, I think. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It-
what I
it-
said.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I have this mental thing. I love when the world shut down. It's not that anybody bothers me here or whatever, but I like late night to create and compose
Yeah.
because it gives me a feeling of like no interruption. There's no chance of an interruption. I can just let myself go, and that's just my time.
Yeah.
And even though I still work. I do work from home, and I'm very fortunate for that. But and I work hard. And you're right; it takes discipline, a lot of discipline. But that's my favorite time. I don't think I'll ever break it. And I'm not even going to try to. I'll just have to live with limited sleep or whatever because that's my time. That's my world.
Does
Yeah.
anyone does anyone here miss any aspect of the COVID lockdown days? It may be a strange question, but does anyone miss any aspect of it?
It was no different for me
I was muted.
because I work from home and I wasn't going out. And so when the world shut down, I was like, I can still do my job because I don't go anywhere. So, and that was lucky for me because, some of my colleagues who were going into offices were getting furloughed. I just sat at home and I just carried on doing my job and it was absolutely no different. So, yeah.
Pretty much the
I
same
like
for me.
going-
I'm-
Go on.
sorry,
All right.
I'm a carer for my partner, so it didn't matter to me. And I've got to say, my partner and I really enjoyed the quiet because suddenly there was hardly any traffic outside, hardly any people outside, and it was just peaceful.
Oh yeah.
Apart from 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night when everybody started fucking clapping for the
Oh,
NHS.
what was that, mate?
apart
That
from
was
that.
pointless.
James,
The
what were you?
NHS workers don't appreciate that anyway, really.
I think you would have preferred the funding personally, but
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Dyson, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, when it was locked down, because I did astronomy, and obviously there's light pollution at night, and as soon as lockdown come into effect, the sky came back to us. We could see the stars that we hadn't
Oh
seen
yeah.
for years, and that's just with the naked eye.
Yep.
And, just the quality of life.
You're very quiet, by the way.
I'm holding the shaft.
There you go.
There you go.
He's supposed to be holding the shaft. We just need to up the gain. That's all.
Around here, anyway, I don't know what it's like elsewhere, but like Steve was saying, it's just chaos. Every day's chaos. There's too many people. But during lockdown, honestly, it was like taking drugs. You were like, go for that.
Yeah.
Total peace.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people found the lockdown to be refreshing because they, especially if you were in the hustle and bustle and you didn't take time to, as they say, smell the roses.
Right.
Yep.
When you're forced to come to a standstill, you're forced to look at yourself, evaluate your thoughts. Why am I doing the hustle and
Who
bustle?
you're married to, and do I really want to be an entrepreneur? People like Dyson, James has a telescope.
Right.
And he likes to aim that thing up at the sky. Imagine what he was seeing when everything came to a screeching halt. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was reports in like Asian countries. They in Italy too, like the canals. They were saying that for like the first time in they don't know how many years, they could see the wildlife in the canal,
water,
in the water. Yeah, because the pollution started going away. In the Asian countries, like they could see the sky. They hadn't seen like blue skies in forever.
No.
Insane.
And the thing about working at home, I mean, just adding to some icing on top of this, is in my company, the one I work for, they found out that our productivity has increased so much by the employees' morale, because you don't have to get ready every morning, make that drive, go sit in an office with no windows all day, So, and again, it's discipline. Do I throw a load of laundry in while I'm working? Yeah. It takes 5 minutes. That's a break. You got to take a break away from the monitors. Throw it in, turn it on, come back and start working again. I mean, people go, oh yeah, but you just, no, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Not you have to be disciplined. And,
It's funny because when I'm on certain projects, I am fortunate like you to work from home as well. But before, when I first started my career, I worked with a company who helped me to be able to work from home. But we would often take like the non-smokers would often take 15-minute breaks, and us non-smokers would get in trouble that we were taking so many 15-minute breaks. And so finally what we said was, this is our smoking, non-smoking break, because the smokers would constantly be going out like almost every hour or hour and a half for their quote unquote break. And it was like 15 minutes long, and it was just to go light up a cigarette.
Right.
So we were like, well,
Seen it.
what do you mean?
Seen it all the time.
Yeah.
Jervis, you're entrepreneur, correct?
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
No, I've got a day job. I've got a day job.
So how did COVID affect your day job, and like what was something you really missed about it?
Well, I work at a school, so COVID made me work from home a lot of the time, and that was great for me with the kids. couple of things, and it's all kind of related. We realized we could walk to the seafront in under 15 minutes, which was it took us that long to drive there. So I never thought it was that close. So we do that for our.
It took that long. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's bizarre. So we would walk. The lack of traffic was amazing. The quietness of that, plus the lack of airplanes and chemtrails and all that kind of nonsense. It was really good for all those right reasons. And actually, I do miss that quiet. Yeah, because of course, very soon afterwards, we've back to the same level of pollution and busy roads and all the rest of it. It's just a bit, crap.
So I think.
Is there something you like? Man, I realized this about myself and my family, and I'm going to implement this more with or without.
It was the walking. It was we after lockdown we carried on doing that.
Oh,
nice.
And so we do it. Although because they're a little bit older now, getting my 15-year-old boy to do anything with us is a chore. My daughter and I, she's 11. I mean, yeah, she's like my shadow, but we'll do stuff. But getting him out of the house is difficult. But when we all do stuff, when we were doing stuff together, it was brilliant. It really was. But
yeah,
right.
I mean, that's just the last year.
Gets
I
you
guess.
closer.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And we've always been quite close anyway. And I think that's the important thing about my approach to family is that, we all do stuff together in the house. And that includes the chores. So, Saturday morning, watching Andy Synchrotron, we're all doing the chores, where possible.
Yep.
When the kids are with me, I'm actually got to take them to football. But generally, that's that kind of routine was you get up, you have a nice breakfast, do the chores, nice lunch, go out for a walk, and then whatever else. So that kind of routine has bonded us because it's not do your homework, do the washing up, do this, you do that, I'll do this. We all do it together, and that I think is important as well. And I think the kids, I've been getting the kids to do chores since they're 3, because I figure that actually it's not a chore, it's a part of life. It's an important part of life, and actually the sooner you get used to it, because you've got to do it, and it's not maybe the nicest thing, but the sooner you get used to doing it, the quicker you can do the job, the better you become at the job, the less of a chore it is.
Right.
And it's obviously teaching them a bit of responsibility as well, because I know some parents, their mum just tidies their room. It's like, well, hang on a minute, that's their room, that's their space. You can't go in there and move stuff around. Why would I do that? I wouldn't do that. And it's their space to do with what they want. If they want to, my daughter's just lives in a floor-drobe, I think. It's literally like that. Just please tidy your room. Yeah,
right.
But I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go in there and do it.
Right.
I might go in with her and help to motivate her, because I think that's the thing with kids. She'll suddenly go, "Oh, look, I'm gonna pick this somewhere." And like 3 hours later, she's still looking at whatever it is she's picked up.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we do, right? We get
confused
distracted.
as hell.
Yeah, it's like, come on, let's do it together, and then we can do the next thing.
Yeah, but a lot of parents during COVID said that, wow, they sat and they watched their children and said, oh, crap, they have characters, and I've missed out on so much. Like,
that's so crazy.
Just by going to work every day.
COVID stopped the mass distraction. That's what they say. They said that life for most was a distraction, and then when you have a moment to take away and sit and look at life, like James said, how many people go look at the stars? It's not a lot. And then Manny said something earlier in the chat. He said, it's just a glimpse of how the earth can just do without us.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that as well. Yeah.
Isn't that scary? Yeah.
But Biscuit also said after COVID is worse than before COVID. Don't like the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it was weird. Something changed.
The divorce rate
skyrocketed,
the highest it ever has.
Well, tonight is my 5-year anniversary of the split with my wife, which was
During
2 months.
COVID.
Hence the
So,
new
I'm trying to-
pajamas.
Hence pajamas and celebration.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad, Jervis. Mine was like 2 years after.
Well, congratulations, I guess.
Thank you. No, it's
You're-
a
yeah.
happy day.
Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
5 years happy.
Yeah. You get a piece
you know.
of you get a peace of mind from what was taken from you for a long time. But that's just I don't want to go too far into that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
but COVID, like I think, like the lockdown and everything like that, like it helped in a lot of things, and then it made a lot of things really bad. I think it made kids, teenagers in particular, more introverts because they were isolated from everybody, scared to talk to people, especially in that ripe age of where their personalities are being molded into that preteen stage, and now I got to stay away from people.
You
I
ever
can't-
watch a
you know?
21-year-old talk to an adult? and did you notice how I said that? You ever watch a 21-year-old talk to an adult? Now think about that.
Yeah, because they were teenagers when that happened. And now they're adults trying to navigate.
And just because they're 21 doesn't mean that their mind frame is 21.
yeah, they're not an adult.
And they can't look an adult in the eyes. They get really awkward really quick, and it's happened a lot in my opinion. I've seen.
Doesn't sound a bit
Yeah.
like my 21-year-old daughter.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, she's fine.
See, you have your instances where if you have a good parent like Jarvis and makes them, walk and go out and do things together during that COVID, era, you probably wouldn't have, the ones who can't even look at you to have a conversation. But again, like adults had to learn how to navigate and for God's sake, learn how to be a teacher.
I'm with Wagyu.
When they were home.
I'm with Wagyu. It was difficult for me after the lockdowns and just talking with our clients and the distancing that we had to go through, because we were self-employed, and I think it was all around strange for everyone.
Yeah, Manny said it. Socialism was a victim of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So was. Yep.
You know, the
Just
one thing
pointless.
that bothered me about it all, guys don't shake hands no more. There's that
Oh,
used to
I
be
shake
a-
elbow.
hands all the time.
Elbow
Yeah,
pumps
give me a
or
fist
fist
bump.
pump.
Other
Yeah.
people.
No, I want to shake your hand. If we're gonna do business or whatever,
Right, yeah.
or we're gonna
Gotta
be friends,
press that
I want to
flesh.
shake your damn
Yeah,
hand.
press the flesh.
Be
Yeah.
a man, you know.
I used to
Do
work
it
with-
properly.
I used to work
And
with
do
a
it
guy.
properly. Yeah.
I used to work with a guy that used to be a New York beat cop, and he always used to say,
important.
"You gotta smell the person,"
Yeah.
and it's true. You do have to,
do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wait, hang on. Did Kent fall asleep?
No.
Oh,
No,
he
he's
said
not
no.
asleep.
He said no.
I would ask Kent the question, but Kent's like, nothing's never changed. I've been in the
Oh,
studio.
it did.
Did it really?
I know.
It was like that one right there.
This is the thing about the lockdown. I like to do the joke when people say, "Oh, do you remember during the lockdown?" And I go, "What lockdown?"
Yeah.
But the thing is, coming out the other end of the lockdown, I lost my best friend for 40 years. And the lockdown stopped him from coming around, because what he would do, he would come round to see me. He'd come and have a coffee. He'd bring Charlie and Shamira with him, and we'd talk. Maybe I'll make him a sandwich and stuff like that, and we'd chat away. And he'd talk about everything that's not working out and everything. We talk through it. No solutions, but we would talk about it. And he would leave a little bit more repaired than when he came in.
Mm-hmm.
When lockdown happened, and he wasn't coming round, I tried calling him, and it was his work phone. So his work phone would be in his van. It wouldn't be anywhere near it. So I kept calling him. And Fiona said, "Shall I go down and see him?" I said, "Well, what about this lockdown shit?" She goes, "I could go down and knock on the door and everything like that." And she went, "Yeah." So she went down, she knocked on the door, no answer. And she goes, "Well, maybe he's out." I said, "What? But there's no way of knowing." And because he owned so many cars, it was hard to tell by what cars were there whether he was in or whether he was out. So he had this yellow Nissan thing. It was a huge fucking sports car. He had an Evo 7, you know, all this sort of thing, and then a couple of classics. So it was really, really difficult to tell whether he was in or not. So she went down for a couple of times and knocked on the door, no answer. So, and I thought, well, you know, hopefully he'll get hold of us when he needs to. And then the next thing we got is the police on the door. He's hung himself in the stairwell. Can you look after this dog? So I was affected by it, but externally and not directly from the thing, you know, from the thing itself.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of other things that were going on, yeah. I mean, I live under a Heathrow flight path. They say it's one of the busiest skies on the planet. Just this bit of sky here. It's ridiculous. And during lockdown, not hearing planes was what I was noticing. You never used to notice hearing the planes because you know, grew up here listening to constantly having jumbos. Concorde used to fly right over here. Every time, and it was lovely. And suddenly nothing. No aircraft in the sky at all. It was just like the silence was just unbelievable. And then you start hearing all the birds twittering in the trees.
Right.
I mean, still today, I think we only get to see, I think it's one star. You can see Venus, you can see Mars, and one star, and that's your fucking lot. Because the light pollution over London is mental. Right? It's just fucking mental.
That's insane.
And they've been building and building and building. They've been building from London now past us and now on into the Greenbelt, right into the Greenbelt. And I've watched the light pollution on the horizon in the back bedroom slowly move across the horizon over the last, 30, 40 years. So, yeah, I mean, we are a disease on this planet. We really are. Lots of us try to be as kind to the planet as humanly possible, but it's actually impossible because the infrastructure to which we live in and are welded into and cannot get out of is destructive. You know? So,
yeah.
When people say, oh yeah, well I don't buy leather shoes because I want to, protect cows and stuff like that. And you go, oh, okay. So what are you using instead? Oh, I use these instead. And you go, well, so it's a truck delivering them. It doesn't matter what you do.
It's
Every action uses energy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Plastic's worse than the leather, isn't it?
Oh,
yes,
right.
it is.
And the microplastics.
It doesn't seem to matter. If you turn your head to the left, you damage something somewhere. It's like, oh fucking hell, What
we
do you have to do?
We have to acknowledge that too for Biscuit. He lost the ex and didn't know until after. Lost his dad 2020 and wasn't allowed to visit him in the hospital. Believed he was murdered by incompetent medical professionals. So I mean, it's like and he says he doesn't know why he said that. He gets mad at times. But Biscuit, I know you probably been holding that in for a long time, and we never knew that. I think it's an appropriate time to say such things. I mean, sometimes you got to say some shit that it may hurt the other, or it may hurt you. But if you don't let it out, I've come to realize you're never going to know what's the boiling point.
Yeah, like I told him in the chat, you need to say it more often.
Yep.
It'll start helping with the healing process.
Oh God, yeah. Say as often as you possibly can.
You have to.
Angry, sad, crying, no emotion. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're saying it.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a release valve. If you don't pop that release valve now and again, like any pressure cushion,
Right.
it
And the
fucking
person
explodes and the damage is much worse.
Oh yeah.
And the person around you too. Like if you have someone with you, and they don't know what you're holding or what you're not releasing, it turns into self-doubt, blame, chaos, and things get misconstrued because you kept it in. And then now you have to do the repair work of explaining the whole situation yourself. I just find like nowadays mental health is such on the uprise. If we're not talking to each other anymore, it only spells doom for the species.
Man, and COVID skyrocketed that, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Many even said it. Socialization was killed.
Yep. Yeah. It ballooned YouTube and live streaming.
Oh yeah, it did.
Because what other outlet did you have when you were there?
True.
Everything was online. Everything.
It also proved to companies that people could work from home. After
Yeah.
trying it about 20 years previous and it completely failed to work, suddenly it worked. And companies have learned to say, oh, actually, you can stay at home if you want because they're saving money on heating. And so
Not all companies.
On
though.
everything.
Not all companies.
And not all governmans.
And not, but some. But
But even then, if you have an office job and you're actually working in an office, 5:30, you turn off your computer and everything like that, put your coat on and go home. That fucking job follows you. You're expected, can you get this report done for tomorrow morning? Can you do this, that, and the other? And suddenly you go, well, hang on, I'm working from home.
Yep. And even something like supplies, they don't have to pay on supplies because I'm the kind of guy that's like, okay, I need a couple pens, but I already have paper here. It's mine. I use it for my own personal reason.
Yeah.
What am I going to go through all this online? I paid $1.99 for this and wait for it being reimbursed. It's like, it's just easy to grab my paper and use it. You know what I mean? And it's like, so they're saving money when you start looking at, because I know people in the company and they tell me this stuff. They're saving so much money. It's not even funny.
Oh, huge amounts of money.
No heating, no electricity, no AC.
Yes.
No vending machines.
Rents on the building.
No subsidized food.
Right. But what happens with that is
Coffee.
OPEC and big pharma and big government don't like to see less oil consumption. Don't like to see, things. If you're taken away from your government's pockets, it is not a great thing.
Yeah, the almighty petrodollar says a lot.
Do you know what? There's a perfectly good solution for keeping oil consumption up, even if you're working from home. Right. Build more of these. Right? Proper fucking cars.
What, model cars?
Proper fucking. I got my Mustang out on the driveway. Even now, people walking by and going, "Oh, look, big American car." Yep. So enjoy that Prius you're pissing around in.
Ken, is that a Bullet Mustang?
Pardon?
Is that a Bullet Mustang? No, it's not.
No, the Bullet Mustang is the Mark 1. Mine's a Mark 2.
Okay.
Mac 1. So it's more gone in 60 seconds.
Ah, okay. Eleanor.
Hence the gone in 60 seconds.
Right.
Film
Except
poster,
it
but
doesn't
it's
go
my
anywhere.
car on the picture.
It's driveway dressing. It's driveway dressing.
Oh, mate. When that thing starts up.
Yeah, but it doesn't go anywhere.
It does. I have taken it out. I've got video of me taking it out.
When was the last time you took it out?
A little while ago.
Yeah, VHS was still
I have
in.
to finish the suspension, okay?
Kind of some slack. You can't even walk down.
Jesus Christ, yeah. At the moment, I can't go to the toilet without banging my end against the wall and shitting myself.
You can't even fix the synthesizers he has already.
Oh,
downstairs.
mate.
Come
There
on.
was so many cables that built up in the fucking hall and the toilet.
There's a backlog.
In the last couple of weeks. Jesus Christ. Oh, mate. This poor sod, he's bought an SY-77 from Japan. Absolutely beautiful, immaculate, blah, 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 blah. And all the rest of it. He's paid top dollar for it. Fully working. It arrives, opens the box, smashed to pieces. Bits of plastic everywhere.
Damn.
And the backlight's not working anymore, and this, that, and the other. And he's brought it round, and he says, "Can you fix this?" And then holds up a carrier bag full of parts. I went, "Yeah, bring it in. I think I've got some super glue somewhere."
Freaking Cressy keeps changing his profile pictures. Look at this. It's supposed to say Cress Head, but
It does say Cress Head.
No, it doesn't. It
does.
says
No, it says C.
Res Head.
Oh, all right then. Yeah, it was okay.
C Res Head. It does not say Cress
Rest
Head.
head.
I'll
But
ignore the
that's Luna
spacing.
again. How did you get pictures of my cat?
Is it?
Yeah, that's a point.
He's having
It does look
difficulties
very like it.
with Mid Journey.
Siri
Mid Journey
is
and
not
him
in
are
here.
not
You
having
like
it.
it?
Good conversation. I remember when I was trying to do something with Chat GPT and I had an argument with it. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, it was for...
That thing was like literally debating you.
Yeah.
That was scary to watch, too.
Oh, it was for our video humanity.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing that Chat GTP will never ever give you as a reply? Never ever give you as a reply. Ever.
How to make a bomb.
Probably.
It'll never tell you that it doesn't know something.
Oh, that it
Hold
doesn't
it from
know.
the shaft.
Yeah, hold it from the... God damn it. Who gave James Dyson a freaking mic? We got to give him mic lessons.
Fuck's
Right.
sake, it scares the shit out of me when I do that.
Yeah, it does. I don't know.
No, it says it won't tell you that it doesn't know something. I'm trying to think if I ever it did when I was having quote unquote conversations with it. It did admit to being wrong.
It did do that. But it did say, I'm not going to paint a picture of war. And
Even though
so-
it did already.
Even though it did.
And it apologized for doing it and said, I'm sorry, I should have never done that. That was an interesting conversation
It
going
was.
back and forth with
Yeah. It's scary.
it. It is.
It is.
Learning too quickly was kind of Cyberdyne systems, you know? We're going to be there
It's
very
learning,
soon.
Yeah, it's learning like dog years. You know, like
Yeah,
how,
it is doing that, dog
you
years.
know, it's just for every 3 years it leaps so monumentally. It's crazy. It's
That's because it
beyond.
compresses
That's
so
because
much
the-
faster than we can.
The more powerful computers help us design even more. It's faster,
It's
faster.
a logarithmic curve, isn't it?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
I mean, I find it helps me a lot. So
Yeah.
I use it for
We're
what?
living, yeah, we're definitely living in exciting, fun times. I mean, if we can all remember when the cell phone came out, like I don't,
Oh, yeah.
my memory of my first cell phone was a Nokia. Okay,
Yeah.
and that Nokia was, I mean, shit, it was only
Huge.
It was only 20 years ago, and look what the phones can do now in 20 years. That's just a phone.
yeah.
My first memory of a phone was my mom bought I think it was a Cadillac, and they had a phone, quote unquote, installed in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was actually the one that, was in the car and you couldn't take it with you. It was like attached to the car. That was my
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, mine
Proper car
too.
phone.
Yeah.
You know, in my career, it's so funny because, I started my career in '85, but, I'd go to data centers that were huge rooms,
Hey.
air conditioned, water cooled, mainframes all over the place filling this room. And that thing couldn't even do graphics. It couldn't do these video games,
Yeah.
that we play on the phone. It's just mind blowing. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah. Pocket computers, aren't they? Really?
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
totally.
Yeah.
Not
And
a
now
phone
you
You missed
got
out on punch cards, Jerry.
I did. Herman Hollerith punch cards.
There we go.
Yep.
well, look,
my-
not
My first music computer was on.
Panda's like, what?
Yeah, you guys probably don't know. We used to have to
Rotary.
use a teletype
You're not
machine.
Robbie 2.0.
Oh, no.
Not again.
Sibling rivalry. Look out.
Jesus Christ. It's all about bloody Jackson.
I mean, well, look at him.
Anyway,
He's
I rescued
gorgeous.
Robbie. Yeah, but, be quiet and understated like Tom.
Oh my God! So we were out marketing our business one day. I think was it this week or last week?
Last week.
Last week. And so what we do is we go to different equine vet offices and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, it was this week.
It was this week, right?
Yeah.
So we walked into one equine vet. It was really nice facility, and they had a makeshift fireplace and stuff. It looked like it was a living room, right? Their
Yes.
reception area. They made it look like it was a living room, and above what was supposed to be a fireplace was a painting / photo. Looked like a photo, but it looked like it was a painted photo. And literally,
It was Jackson in a suit next
And
to Tom.
Tom.
And he was in a suit.
I'm like,
and they looked so elegant.
literally
And it
look
was
like
the
Tom and
same
Jackson.
freaking cats.
Same one.
I mean, it couldn't. The universe could not lay it out any
No,
perfect.
and I'm like, oh my god,
She
that's...
almost got a picture,
I
but we
did.
thought it would have been kind of rude.
Well, no, I didn't have my phone to take
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
I
it would be
didn't-
kind of
Yeah.
rude.
Nah, I would have been like, I need to take a picture of that.
Next time you go, definitely.
Yeah, it was. Oh
yeah.
my god, they look
I was like,
so
you gotta
cute.
recreate that.
I'm like, look at that. It's just it's Get Jarvis in his suits when he does his live, but it's the cats in suits. It was
It looked crazy.
priceless.
Yeah, it looked real too.
Yeah, it really did. Oh,
I
next
think-
when we go back, we got to take a picture.
Jerry was telling us about punch cards, but he didn't get to finish.
Punch
Oh
cards.
yeah,
Oh.
Uncle
Well
Chrome.
done, Steve.
Uncle
Oh,
Chrome
right,
brought
sorry.
it up when we started. We used to have to use a teletype machine, like a typewriter.
Yep.
Only it would punch holes in the cards, little square, rectangle
Yeah.
holes.
Yep.
And then you'd take that card, and then you'd get a big stack, and then you'd feed it into this reader, and
Yep.
it would go, brrrr,
We-
and it would
we
send
have-
it to this mainframe off somewhere, and it would come back, and then you'd have your answer. It's like-
We have a fantastic museum at Bletchley Park, home of the code breakers in World War II, and they've got a machine that does that there. There's a massive computer museum there, and I've seen one. It's fantastic.
it's
I think the
crazy.
NHS
Feed
is still
cards in.
using it.
If you
Who's still
come
using
to
it?
if you
Yeah,
come to
sure.
synthesized,
Oh.
come to synthesized in Cambridge, it's held at the Centre for Computing History. So you can come and play with synths, and then go next door and play with like every computer that ever existed.
Wow.
From punch card machines right up to sort of modern day stuff.
Dragon
It's-
32.
Oh, there's Dragon 32s.
Yeah, that's
Stored
like
in
our,
a lot. All
our
sorts.
Electronica Fests are at the System Source. There's a computer museum north of Baltimore.
Mhm.
And they also took on the inventory of the National Electronics Museum, which was all this like military avionics technology and ancient radio stuff. They have Marconi's radio direction finding station from 1915. I mean, incredible historical stuff. And these guys, it's like they have this private museum of computer technology, but they've taken that on as well. And in one of their rooms, they had the IBM 360 and IBM mainframes, and that was my first music computer. Because as an undergraduate, my last class was digital music, which was working in this collection of subroutines that a guy named Barry Vercoe had written for his PhD thesis. And they ran on the IBM 360. And basically, we were, writing all these punch cardy code, right, to generate, sine waves and square waves and filter and, ADSR envelopes and all like that. But we couldn't hear any of it because there was no way to turn, that into audible stuff. But we would get printouts. So you knew that you'd made it right if you got this like 20-foot long printout of, 5 cycles of the sine wave or something. So that was our homework. We
Well,
would stack
it's
the
like-
printouts.
Like Dr. Chowning when he discovered FM synthesis. He would write this code and it would take like 30, 45 minutes to process, and then all you'd get out was this doorbell.
One cycle. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Didn't move on much, did it?
No.
Because we had they had a music.
And thus the DX7 was born.
Do you know what? Early 90s, I took out a course with.
Oh, good night, Dyson.
Oh,
Uh,
I think
you
James
take-
is going, yeah.
See you, James.
Catch you
You
later,
take
James.
you take Lightwave 3D. I took out this course and learnt how to do CGI for film and television, because that's what I was really wanting to get into. And I followed the course through. I kept buying the software. I kept learning the new techniques as the new software versions came out. And we're not talking cheap here.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it through and saw it and moved on. And then the industry started to want to be more interested in the Unreal Engine and not so much the Lightwave. And I started to dabble into the Unreal Engine, and it was like, it was okay, but it was not for me. So I stayed with Lightwave, and I'm battling through the years, so I'm going into the 2000s now and everything. So it's early 2010s and stuff like that. And then the Unreal Engine and Lightwave systems kind of merged and became one sort of like cross-platform and everything. Oh, okay. I'm learning more. Come to today, everything that I've learnt in the last 30 years, you now do with an AI interface.
Yeah.
So, fuck you, AI.
Yes.
Thousands and thousands, and I'm not kidding. We're talking 60, 70,000 pounds of training and courses and software. And I'm not bitter about it because I really enjoyed doing it. I really, really loved doing it.
Yeah.
And it became very, very obvious quite early on that to get into the CGI film industry, it would be easier for EMI to sign me, to do fart noises on an album, basically. That would be easier. But I still love doing it, and I still have those skills, and I still apply them. When I'm doing like designs for synthesizers, I can actually mock up a accurate 3D model of the synth, what it's going to look like when it's finished, and then film it. Put it in any environment and stuff like that.
Do we have any hardware synthesizers that have AI implemented in them currently today?
No.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Only plugins.
Yeah.
But no hardware.
Not hardware, no.
So
No.
how long until we have hardware that's been
AI.
that's been learning and being adaptive to our playing and our synthesis style of creating?
Well, that
patches?
would then make different synthesizers, the same synthesizer sound and react differently depending on who owned it.
I don't think hardware implementation of AI in synthesizers is probably a longer way off, simply because once you build a piece of hardware, it's a piece of hardware and it's limited. It has a finite lifespan. And AI requires a more organic approach. So that's why software is better for that sort of
What exactly would you apply it to in the scene?
Well, Wagyu says yes.
I can't reach down there.
Wagyu says the Jupiter X has an arpeggiator, but it's not really related to modern AI.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of like random preset generators. And, you could say like Sean Luke's Edison does that, but it's intelligent. So it won't let parameters go nuts and blow off your speakers or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, you're going to say like, okay, it'll, make wild and interesting sounds, but, won't be too wild or interesting or something that has, a 2-year attack envelope or something like that. But I'm not sure where AI would,
Biscuit says
change the look and feel maybe.
Biscuit says Hydra used machine learning to model the oscillators. Filters.
Yeah, I could see that.
But are they changing now, or once they're modeled, they're modeled?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's still set hardware.
Right.
Or set software, if you like.
It's a product of AI, it's not AI itself.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like there's a VST I have called Push, and it's like a one-button synthesizer. It's you hit it and you get a random sound, and you just keep hitting it till you get something you like, and you use that. And it doesn't have a whole lot that you can modulate with it, but it's stupid easy. So something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, easily 60% of every synthesizer on the planet is the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there's a flow, there's a path, there's a set of rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that other 40% that you piss about with that determines whether it's that synthesizer or that synthesizer or that synthesizer.
Oh, yeah.
And AI will be incredibly useful in just getting that 60% laid out. Yep. Boom, there you go.
The likelihood, Chrome, mathematically, let's use your big brains for this.
Okay.
Monkey brains.
The likelihood of AI being sentient in 5 years, is it likely or no?
No.
In 10
Sentient
years.
means it's like autonomous and
Right.
No. AI right now is just a very, very, very clever, decision maker, random information generator.
It's a pattern recognizer, that's what it is.
Okay,
Pattern
what about
recognizer
10?
Which
What about 10? Hold on, I'm trying to make a point here. What about 10 years from now?
No.
Well,
I don't think so. Because the thing is, to make it sentient, you have to make certain jumps that I don't think right now we're technologically able to. But it's like, nobody's figured out how to put a robot head on a human body. So you ain't going to have it.
And let's be honest, like AI, like all these AI generators, like the Midjourney, the Chat GPTs, the whatever else is out there, they're more wrong than right.
Yeah, but as you keep using them, they get less and less wrong. And,
yes.
But
you have to put in hours of doing that for it for the percentage to be greater than the other one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And who has time to do that?
I mean,
so who is training whom?
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. So what's real? So what's more real? What's more real? If I ask any one of you, if I asked Jervis a question and I said, Jervis, if I hand you a box of crayons, I want you to quickly tell me the color of every crayon in the box. Now, do you see how long
Blue,
it took
orange, yellow. The green ones taste nice.
Right? Okay.
Come on, Jarvis, the first question is how much are you paying me to do this?
So you see how long so you see how long crayons. Right? You used to eat crayons. They probably melted in your mouth too. You disgusting
And
bastard.
look, and he's totally fine.
Yeah. So you see how long it took me to think of the question, ask the question, and get an actual answer and a result. Whereas they're saying now AI is computing so fast, before I even finish asking the question, it already comes up with 1,000 different results.
No, that's just interrupting AI.
So who's teaching who? At one point, who's teaching who now at this point? If something's going to compute faster than us, what do we have left to learn? Something is going to we've created something that is vastly greater than us because it's computing faster than us. So who's teaching who? At what point, who is teaching who?
What do you mean it's vastly greater than us? At what?
At processing information and making
It's
decisions.
incredibly bad at making a good decision on a final result, isn't it?
It's greater at processing information at speed, but it doesn't have emotion.
Yeah, it's blind, isn't it? It's
Can't
blind,
make
but it's
toast
good.
as good as I can.
Yeah, it can't go out and walk the dog. It can't go out and
Well, after listening to some of the interviews that I've seen that people have been where people have been interviewed about various politicians and stuff like that, basically a dog shit in a teacup is probably more intelligent than half the people out there already anyway.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't worry about it.
I think the term artificial intelligence is a misnomer for what we have now. What we have now is machine learning.
Yeah.
That's what we have. And analyzation and machine learning. We don't have anything that is intelligent to the true definition of the word.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
But you don't think you don't think it can already make better decisions for our general lives as
It'll
to
make
how to
better decisions based on all the information that we've told it. So, for example, they're using AI stroke machine learning to detect cancers way earlier than we can because it can analyze patterns and recognize patterns faster than we can.
Right.
But it can only do it based on logic, not
based on the
feeling.
information we fed it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Humans feel along with that decision making, and a machine can't do that. So it's going to be pure logic only. As Robbie said, what we feed into it, that's what it knows, and that's.
But that is a good thing where medical stuff is concerned because it's
absolutely.
non-biased. So in that application, it's fantastic. In other applications, it won't be as fantastic.
Right.
Because there'll be that missing component.
Yeah. So you see what Wagyu said, right? She's going to pull it up right now.
Yeah.
I disagree with Robbie. Current AI deserves the name AI. The state of the art has moved onto AGI for hard AI.
In simple speak, please.
Aggie.
Well, it's giving the impression of human intelligence.
Right. And AGI is far more superior than just regular AI, right?
General intelligence.
Yeah.
Nice, thanks, Waggy.
Define intelligence, though. Intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, We definitely don't have the intelligence. Yeah, we have the emotions and the characteristics of being a human. But clearly, if something is smarter than us and it's going to quantify outcomes, which it's already doing, but it's going to want to ensure that it survives too.
Intelligence is a very
Why would it do
broad
that, though?
term.
It's already done that, Chrome. It
survives?
It literally convinced the developer not to take its life. It started to quantify all the reasons why the developer shouldn't take its life, and it tried to prey on the developer's emotions.
Okay, I'm not aware of what exactly you're.
Can we find that? Can we find that article?
I'd like to read that.
It can only do it in programming.
I don't think you want computers to get too
Right,
intelligent.
but this thing tried to Wagyu might be able to find it. AI tries to plead for his life with the developer, and it preyed on the developer's emotions, and it tried to replicate.
I think maybe you're confusing being manipulative by it being like have feelings for itself. It knew how to manipulate the person who created it.
Right. Right.
But
the real problem starts is when you go in the morning and you find it's committed suicide through depression.
That's a problem.
Have you seen that art installation, which is a robot in the middle of a ring, and it's leaking hydraulic fluid, and it is programmed to try and scoop that hydraulic fluid back into itself, so it doesn't fail.
Yeah,
which is interesting, but it's literally it's a simple program, but it's by comparison to many other
metaphor for life, isn't it?
Yes, it's an art installation. It's not actually.
It's cleverly made because it can never do it. It's always going to be losing more oil than it can gain back again. So therefore, there's your metaphor and so on. It's very clever.
Now, if you
art
hook up,
piece of art.
there's the machine that turns itself off. Right, so it's the hand that comes out and flips the switch and turns itself off. So if you hook that up to an AI system, then it could be suicidal at some point. But I don't think unless you program something that emulates emotion. So whoever this person was that was programming this AI, if they developed a framework and a language model and whatnot that is,
it's not actual suicide, is it?
No, that's
still learned
it.
Here's an interesting point. We don't even know. We can't define emotions, right? We feel them, but we don't know where they are or how they exist. So how are we going to feed that into AI?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Cressy, what did you say?
Says it can't commit suicide, can it? Because it was never alive, and if even if you define it as suicide, just reboot it. Try that with a real person. Don't work.
Right.
Bollocks as usual.
Yeah.
And like Biscuit, it said earlier, he said it's mimicking what a human would do, and that's what a human would do. It's
like
learned
a
from
puppet.
humans.
It's pretending to look like a human being. It's not human.
Right.
So can you tell Chat GPT what emotion feels like? What love is?
Yeah, Jerry. So let's capitalize that on Jerry. Chrome, Jerry has a point. Mathematics only is stable with material and physical properties. It doesn't account for emotion and human characteristics, correct?
I don't know that.
So
you're talking about things that brain scientists work in, and that's a vocabulary I don't know about, but they could have a way of quantizing it.
Are you saying you can quantize and quantify consciousness?
Well, no, but you're talking about emotion. So, for example, could you quantize happiness? Well, you could say like I couldn't ever possibly happier than this thing, so that's 100.
But do you even know where your emotions exist? It is in your brain. Is it in your soul
or your heart?
Or is it in your physical body? Where are these emotions that we feel? And they're so powerful, but we can't define them. We don't know where they come from.
So okay.
I argue that the guys who are really doing this for serious ass research, they have a handle. They're working on these things. So
right, because we were all saying
it's all
AI.
brain. It's all that stuff is in your brain. Right? Anything you experience is in your brain, coming through your sensors. But the fact of the matter is that if you could figure out how your brain reacts to certain things, you can model it and quantize it.
Okay, so we sound an awful like AI, being our mothers are our developers, and we're mimicking what we think emotions are and how we think we should feel.
Yeah,
it's everything is being mimicked then at that point.
I beg to differ because I feel emotion, right? When I'm scared, I get chills. When I'm in love, I feel a different emotion.
Yes.
When I hate, I feel the emotion. You can't fake something that you don't, in essence, feel. AI would fake that.
Well, I don't know, but faking's not the right word because you could fake your emotions too, right?
Yeah,
so
but
AI will present whatever emotion is programmed to present given the input you presented it.
Yeah,
so
people fake emotions all the time, don't they? Do you ever watch a film? That is full on 100% fake emotions.
Okay, but even that fake emotion is an emotion to be faked, to be felt.
Well,
like humans,
yeah, people watch that movie, believe it, and end up crying or getting angry at the movie. So it's completely fake, though, isn't it? It's bollocks. It's stuff off a script.
Right.
It's make believe. It's not real.
So you're saying that actors aren't really feeling those emotions; they're just portraying the emotion of.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe
But
they
the
are. Maybe
consumer-
you can't say it. They have to feel it.
That's what's called. That's what they're called actors.
Right,
It's
but the
not real.
consumer follows it and puts themselves in that position, and they are the ones
They
that
feel
have
the emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the actor is doing its job of expressing emotion.
Yes.
Right.
But all this chat of AI is all chatting about digital computing. Our brains are analog computers by definition, and the one link in between it, which we've started working on, is quantum computing. Now, the scary bit is when you add AI to quantum, because that is now infinite on a die that is, massive and things like that, and that can go through every possibility. At the moment, it's really dirty and it's not quite true quantum computing, but they're working on it. And
Where are
that's
they up to now? How many digits can they do?
I think it's last time I checked, it's 12 qubits.
12 qubits. Okay.
Yeah, I think if I remember, maybe 10, but it was China that was doing it, so you can never quite sure unless you. Yeah.
So Sam, is quantum computing is that the race war now? Is that what's going to be our demise? The first one.
Yeah, because the thing is that whilst our processors are getting smaller and smaller on a wafer, weird shit happens when you make things too small because atoms and electrons just fuck off because you can't keep them in check any longer because of heat, or literally just go bye. So we're probably going to have to go back to the larger scale and work our way down to it with a quantum. It'll most likely be the next one, yeah. Unless some smart cookie works out, I don't know, something to do with black holes or something like that, or negative.
I understand that quantum computing is very good for very, very certain specific tasks, and it's absolute shit as a general computer. So to replace computing, quantum computers is not going to replace computing. It does certain tasks really well, and other tasks.
Well, just like you have Macs that do graphics better than a PC. It's kind of, there's going to be specialized systems.
But we don't actually know what quantum computing is going to be good for because we've only made dirty versions of it. It's not pure yet.
Oh, it's early days, yeah.
It's just the next step to analog processing. That's all.
Well, there's a tiny break in the conversation. Sorry to interrupt. It's 1 o'clock here in the UK, and
I've got to go to bed.
I'm going to exit stage left. Me and Panda got to work on our
I'm going to join
jam
Steve
tomorrow.
Oh, you dragging me into bed?
You're going to make a cup of tea, Jervis?
Rookies.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Jervis is definitely a fresh rookie. I've never seen Jervis up this late.
No, never.
Yeah.
Thanks for the great chat, everyone.
I'm still awake.
Yep, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab
Thanks, Jervis.
Thanks,
for
Jervis.
coming.
See you later.
Yeah, guys. Cheers.
Yeah. I've always loved conversations like this. I've always loved to hear people's outlook on this. It's just totally amazing to hear the different mindsets on something that is.
Well, I came on here for the knob gags.
Poor Ket's sitting back all, when are they going to shut up about all this?
Yeah, stop talking about AI. Get your dick out.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Get your dick out.
I'm with Kent. I want to see some action.
How long before we have an AI penis, Kent?
Oh my God! Would you stop with the AI bullshit? Jesus.
The Steely Dan.
That'll probably be smarter than mine.
Well,
and last longer.
Well, if you want,
Oh.
if you want, Kent, you can answer my question. Kent, if you want, you can answer my question from earlier. Did the Grammys just steal all the musical fun for people like you and I from the audience?
I have a statement. Hand on heart. I had completely disengaged from the music industry 30 years ago.
Are you serious?
I was interested in the music industry as a general business and all that business when I think Rio was #1 by Duran Duran. I've got I couldn't fucking give a shit about it. I've seen this bullshit going on. And I'm just going, look away. There's nothing to learn here. And I have nothing to do with it.
Yep.
You know, people are talking about various artists, and I'm going, the fuck is that? You know? If it's good, I'll get to hear about it. The rest of the stuff, I couldn't name you a band that's been in the charts in the UK in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
but nor could our parents.
Unless,
But
unless
nor could
they
our
have
parents.
something very, very specific and it comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah? So there's bands that have been and gone. There are artists, you know, manufactured plastic fucking twat that sits in front of a mic and suddenly everybody wants to fall in love with them and shag them, and then they fade away into distance. I never even saw them.
They melt. They don't fade.
Yeah.
They're made out of plastic.
It just... The music industry, I find, is one of those things that if you engage in it too much, it tends to ruin what you're trying to do.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can guarantee that what you're trying to do is not what that bunch of fucking fuckwits are doing. So
that goes to
disengage.
my point. That goes to my point, Kent. And which is, I'm glad you said that. I do believe the industry is taking away the audience from us. Like, I don't think we're never gonna have an audience because we don't look the part that the mainstream media is putting out there.
Yeah.
Yes, but the music industry is much broader than what we see in the pop charts these days. Because what's happened back in the 80s, music was a much broader church. There were styles and genres and everything, and everyone was into a little bit of everything. You couldn't not be interested in it all. You couldn't just pick out one artist. Everyone was like into all sorts of different artists. But as the business people at the record companies soon found out, they could manipulate and mold. And so as the 80s went into the 90s and then into the noughties, we started to see more and more and more of these manufactured acts that are controlled and marketed and promoted. And, they don't support bands anymore. It's all about individual artists. There's very few bands that, I think there was a survey recently.
Them AI, Robbie?
Well, quite. It won't
what
be long.
used to be
It won't be
novelty
long.
acts, novelty acts in the 80s is now the mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, for
But
instance,
if you
Samantha
ignore-
Fox, right? She got a record contract to sing on Top of the Pops and all the rest of it because she's got big tits.
And got them out in the newspaper.
And got them out in the newspaper every now and again. Going, wait, check these out. That's how she got that record contract.
Yeah.
But the record and her singing was treated for what it was. And then it disappeared. Was it 2 singles, maybe, something like that? And then
2
off
albums.
it goes.
But titties are good. Titties
Not
are
the
very
biggest
good.
selling albums in the
Yeah,
world.
but nowadays, how many pop stars get their baps out for? It's part of the thing. I mean, there's so.
That's
I mean,
that's what I mean.
I'm not
now,
a prude.
it is
I like
the novelty act is the main thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what is a novelty act? If somebody comes on and sings and they're fucking talented.
Right. So,
You know?
so what
But
you're saying
there is a level of so I don't listen to the pop music radio stations. I listen to other music like Six Music here in the UK, where you will invariably get like 90% of the stuff you hear is not the stuff that's hitting the charts. It's not the stuff that is popular with the young people, but it's rich and it's diverse. And literally, I will lie there in the morning as my radio is playing as I'm slowly waking up, and I'll be going, "That's new. I've not heard that. Shazam that. Right, download that album." And when you look at the albums and you think, "I've never heard of those labels," and it's all kind of self-released and stuff. There is so much good music out there. It's just it's just that the system has changed now so much in favour of promoting that thin level of shite that sits at the top. It's the crust on the top. That's what we get. Right. Underneath that, there is so much good stuff out there. You've just got to go and find it. And of course, we are now so lucky to have things like the internet that allows us to go and find it really very fucking quickly.
Otherwise it
don't use
exist.
Spotify.
It wouldn't exist otherwise.
Had it not been for our Discord, and people putting all this music in certain channels on Discord, I'm like, I would have never known about this group. Yeah. Twin Cities Oxygen put in a couple of groups today. Tracker Jack put in some jazz groups. My brother put in some groups. Robbie's put in some things. Dyson put in, I've never heard of Vangelis. I didn't know who that was.
Who?
Dyson
Vangelis?
Who's Vangelis?
Who's Vangelis?
There's nobody called Vangelis. There's a Vangelis.
Vangelis.
It's Vangelis, dear boy. Absolutely.
So I didn't know who it was until he put it in
Van
Discord.
Morrison.
Yep.
There we go.
That's how I figure out who. That's the only way I'm gonna know what music to listen to is through others who like music. I'm not gonna sit and listen to the radio.
Shall I do it, Rob?
What about Bandcamp? I mean, you could spend a lifetime surfing.
I'm not
Bandcamp
even
and
on
SoundCloud.
Bandcamp. I don't even know what Bandcamp really is.
Shall I do it? Shall I do it? Shall I do it? That's who he is. That's Vangelis.
Looks like Michael McDonald from here.
Playing my CS80.
Really?
Yeah.
He does look like Michael.
Was he like a lounge singer, piano player with a monkey? I remember that guy one time. His monkey pissed in my beer.
No relation.
Yeah.
No relation.
Thank God I got to get to know him before he died. Bloody hell.
Really? Yep.
Oh, you actually spoke with this man.
Oh, no, yeah, I knew him.
Hey, Sin Hugh wants to know for all you in
Kent
the UK.
hit him up for money, a lot of it. Right?
Oh,
Yeah. I was always hitting him up for a couple of K.
Real quick, guys. Sin Hugh wants to know for you in the UK. Have you ever heard of a band called the Cardiacs?
Sounds familiar.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rings a bell.
Robbie has.
Yeah.
You know what song they had that everybody might know, Robbie?
The Cardiacs.
I don't know. I mean, they've
Fiona
been going
might know.
since the 70s. Trying to think of one that everyone would know. I don't know.
Manny says, "Can they keep a beat?
Does their music have heart?
Does it have heart?"
I've never heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess now we all have. Well, except for Robbie, I guess we all have a little bit of
Somebody
homework.
knows,
after
right?
this
And that's
podcast.
what I like.
Right.
That's what I like.
Right.
That's how I determine if I'm going to find good music, not by the radio.
I'm glad, like what Kent said, I'm glad I woke up and I actually, you know what? It's been probably 15, 20 years since I've even watched the Grammys, but I knew underground music was for me when I was told about it.
Yeah.
But it seemed like back in the 80s, when you looked at musicians, it seemed like, because we didn't have YouTube and all this, it seemed like that was a world where, I'm looking at all these musicians and that must be all the world has to offer. Because I'm not exposed to what else goes on in the world. Like, oh, there's a garage band playing here that's just as good, but they don't get the recognition. But I guess I seem to have felt more content with the musicians in the 80s and not really wanting to see anything else.
Right. Because you couldn't imagine it getting better than what you're hearing on the radio.
Right. One of the problems we have with the internet, and certainly in the last 15 years or so, where you've had services like Spotify and others, it's become very easy to just sit back and be fed whatever the algorithms think you should be listening to.
Like radio.
Now this isn't a new thing. We had payola in the 50s, where record companies would pay radio stations to play their songs and only their songs, But it wasn't as prevalent as it is these days. But when I used to go into a record store in the early 1980s, I would invariably be going there to buy something by an artist that I'd liked, that I'd heard, that I'd read about in the press or heard on the radio.
Yeah.
But that I would also then spend loads of time flicking through, just crate digging, just flicking through, seeing what's what, picking out records that had a great cover, picking out records that were on a label that was the same label as a band that I liked, picking out records because they were produced by a producer that I know produced something else that I liked.
Right.
Listening to what the guys and the girls in the record store were playing on the PA, because these people wanted to show off their, it's very much like you see in High Fidelity, the movie, where they're putting on the things they think everybody else should be really into.
Yeah.
And the things that will probably make them seem like really fucking cool, because nobody's heard of this band but me, and I'm wallowing in my immense knowledge of music. But you would go up to the counter and say, what's this? Or you'd look at, because they sometimes put the sleeve on the counter, say, now playing, and you'd have a look at it and you think, I'll have one of those then, please. I still to this day go into record stores and I'll see a cover that looks really interesting, and then the guy that owns the record store, who knows me, will say, you'll like that, because he knows what I buy. And he said, you'll like that. I mean, I got into an artist called Kalela, who is this amazing R&B artist. And R&B is not
Robbie?
Kelela, Kalela.
Okay.
Just awesome. I mean, it's just mind-blowing stuff. And the reason I got into her was because the album that she had out at the time was her sat it was a very artistic photo, but she's really dark black skin, that kind of real ebony black, and she was so striking on this cover. And I was just like, whoa, look at that. And so I picked it up and I was looking at it, and Will comes over and he says, oh, mate, that's so good. That's such a good album. Because he knows I liked R&B from back in the days of Janet Jackson and, in the 80s, those sorts of things. He said, you'll like that. I said, okay, I'll buy it. So I bought it, I got it home, and he was absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
And that was how it was for a very long time. And, for a handful of us, I guess it still is. But for the most part, people are swayed by what they are fed, whether it's in TV adverts, whether it's in movie soundtracks, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer or Tidal or whatever, or YouTube mainly. They're fed what other people think they will like, and they're lazy. I don't mean that in disrespectful way. They're just lazy. They're like, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll put that on. Yeah. They don't think
or just
beyond.
lack of curiosity. But did anyone back in the day ever just go to the record store and go, you know what, that album cover looks funky as hell. I want to get it just because of the album cover.
Right.
Of course.
Blind
absolutely.
faith.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's how you bought. That's how you bought them, right? Because you had the stores like Blockbuster. What was
Tower
the other?
Records.
Tower Records.
Yeah.
There was another one in California.
Penny Lanes.
How many
in Burbank.
copies
It
did
was
Blind Faith sell for that album cover? Come on.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what a
Back
great
then-
album.
I mean, I
But
remember
back then, was radio stations allowed to be more diverse than they are? these
Yes.
days?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Because I can remember
Comedians,
listening to
for
the
God's
radio and
sakes.
somebody I can't remember who the hell it was, and they put on this album, and it wasn't a get up and boogie kind of. Hang on a minute, Lily, stop being a dick. Get the fuck off it. Get off it.
Columbia. Remember Columbia? They used to come in the mail.
Columbia.
Oh,
Played
Music.
this track, and it was
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a track from Snowflakes Are Dancing by Tamita.
Uh-huh.
Right in the middle of this pop show.
Well, Dave Lee Travis used to use Arabesque off that album
Yeah.
as a bed for a feature on his Sunday shows
And then
in
you go,
the 70s.
That's a nice little track there by Tamita.
Yeah.
Check it out when you go into the record stores. And
But
it's like, boom,
if
and
you
there it is.
listen to Radio 1, and this is very UK-centric, but if you listen to Radio 1 these days, you're never going to hear anything like that. You're only ever going to hear that, let's say, that thin level of crust at the top. If you want the same experience, then go and listen to Six Music, for example, because they will play the more obscure, the more unknown, the more unsigned acts they will have DJs that are more like John Peel, and all of those classic DJs that we had back in the 70s and the 80s that would play anything that just moved them slightly. And that's what you're getting on Six Music a lot. So it's there. It's just moved somewhere else. You got to go and find it.
I remember touching back on Lamar's question about the cover albums. I remember as a teenager on Friday, as soon as you got out of school, and then Saturday and then Sunday afternoon, you would go to the music store, and all you would see was just people lifting it up, right? Lifting to see, to look, to see the the image. And I do believe that, the cover album really was a big part of it.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
Autobahn was a
And thankfully, with the the new or the rejuvenated interest in vinyl over these last sort of 15 odd years, the cover has become again a lot more important, because obviously with CD it was just like shrunk right down. It didn't really have the impact that a 12-inch sleeve would have.
Right.
I was flicking through a box of records at an HMV store about 8-9 years ago, and I came across this album which had the most amazing cover. It was just different. It just really caught my eye, and I picked it up. Who's this? And I flipped it over, and the band was called Dutch Uncles, and I thought, and every single song title was one word, which is obviously not common. It's just a single word song title, like 10 or 11 tracks, single words, with this amazing cover. And I thought, I've never heard of Dutch Uncles before, but I like this cover. So I bought it, went home, listened to it, blew my tiny little mind. I'm a massive fan of them now. But again, that was a purchase that was, inspired just simply by the fact they had a great cover. And, one word track titles is always an interesting thing. So I just took the chance. I mean, it could have been rubbish, but I don't think I've ever really bought a rubbish album, because I like so much.
Well, that was the thing that I had. I'm sorry, Matt, but that was the thing that I had for Jerry. I was like, Jerry, when you was digging through the crates, what sort of make you feel like? What sort of nostalgia does that bring back for you when you pick up a nice LP and reminisce over those days?
Yeah,
I kind of go with like Robbie. Like I used to look at covers, and I looked at the instruments that were used on the back. If it didn't have keyboards in it, I wasn't buying.
Always looks at the credits.
Yes,
plain and simple.
Exactly.
Going back to the one, the one word name of songs. I don't know if people notice this or not, but in our playlist, the songs that have videos created for them are all named one word.
Yeah.
And we purposely did that.
Yeah.
Except if it was like a Hardware Jams challenge submission or whatever, it has, a longer title, but
'Cause that
all of the other titles were one word.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the record cover, somebody's just said, an embossed record cover, or maybe the corners aren't straight square corners, they're rounded corners. Or like the Faces album, where if you squeeze the cover of this Faces album, I forget the name of the album now, it's got a picture of a man, and his features change as you squeeze the edges of the. So little things like that would make you go, well, if they've spent the time and the effort to come up with something like that, there must be something quite special about this album.
Holographic images. And
What was that album we were talking about the other day? Remember I said about it had you put the needle down on one track and
Jack
it played
White.
one intro.
Yeah.
And then another one played a completely different intro to the same track, and then the other one you put it in the center and it played a different track going out.
Lazaretto by Jack White. It's an incredible piece of
wonderful.
Because Jack White owns Third Man Records, and he also owns his own pressing plant.
Exactly.
So he was able to do this, what he called an ultra edition of this album, where it had like every trick that you could do with a vinyl album. So it had a hologram in the run-out groove on one side.
Yeah.
One side played out from the middle to the edge rather than the other way round.
Yeah.
On the side where it played regular out to in, the first track had alternate introductions. So depending on where you drop the needle, it would play one of two alternate introductions. The rest of the song would be the same.
Oh, interesting.
And then you could even play the
How far off
center
sync were
label.
they?
Yes.
No, there was indistinguishable.
They're close, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, that's
And then
cool.
you
Pretty
then you
cool.
could
Heard of
play
that.
the center label of the record at 78 RPM, and you'd get this hidden track that was in the
Hidden
center.
track as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
incredible. It's a
freaking cool.
beautiful.
I
thing.
never heard of that.
Brilliant.
He did
Yeah.
have a
Lazaretto,
center track,
Jack
like
White.
a vinyl
Yeah.
carving
Yeah.
track for beats.
It's,
So, well, the Magic
Um,
Tie and Handkerchief
so-
gave you the two tracks on one side.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's got a locked groove at the end of one side where it just plays this loop until you take, a bit like the Sgt. Pepper on the Beatles.
Yeah, but Jack
What-
is a great conservationist when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Jack.
And LPs.
Yeah.
Wagyu said it best on the album covers. Album covers are still as important as ever. They're the thumbnails that determine if you are going to
Right.
click
I
or
agree.
not click
Yeah.
off in these
Right.
days.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
Damn.
not as impactful as they used to be.
Yeah.
No.
Because
No.
you can't
Well,
be.
because now it's so
AI generated.
Yeah.
Well, that and you have this world of instant gratification, right? So, like, if it doesn't catch you within the 3 seconds, bye bye, and you're never going to be seen ever again.
Right.
So, I think that's why it doesn't have such a great impact on the person as back in the day an album cover,
Yeah.
and you can grab it and take it and touch it and just look at it for hours
Right.
if it called that attention.
And here's one thing I'm not against. And although I sometimes hate it, but I'm not against it. If you have the money to expose yourself and to get yourself out there, you're going to find somebody that likes you versus being quiet in the dark. Like, I have nothing against people that would spend money to go get an extra leg up, because if you're sitting in the dark, like the most of us, it's going to be hard to be seen. But if you have the dead presidents to spread to make that happen for you, I'm not
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself, and I'm not against it, because I've always said this. But the way music is today, for every one of us in this room, there's a million people out there, and I know it's a lot more, that would love your art, but they have no way of accessing.
It's not the easiest thing, and you to stand out, is virtually impossible to stand out unless, like you said, you have the financial means and you could do your own PR, and you can put yourself out there and stand out. That's probably it has to be almost an endless income machine. And then for what gain, though?
Well, it's one of the fundamental changes to the music industry, because at one time of day, what you would do is you would hang outside a local studio, try and get a bit of session work, so to see what you like. Your name gets known, you get put down on a book, you get called in to do a session, your name gets known a little bit more, you go to a different studio, and you started to get known, and eventually you start rubbing shoulders with people who can make things happen for you.
It's funny,
That's
but
basically
it's,
Rick
But
Wakeman.
that's gone. That's gone.
It's gone.
Because everybody does all their music from home now.
Right.
Nobody gets to see anybody.
Right.
Right.
but there's still the word of mouth. Like, example, this channel, somebody told you about it, then you told Robbie tells somebody else.
God,
So
don't I know
it's right. So it's still that, you still have somewhat of that same scenario now.
It's just changed a little
It
bit.
changed
Right.
a little bit.
But
Kind of
when
like
the-
Wagyu was saying with the cover albums.
Right.
It's not that anymore,
Now
but
it's
it's
still
your
here.
thumbnails.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
it
think-
just
Yeah.
progressed into something different.
Right. And if the gatekeepers didn't have such a huge thumb on us, they could open that up, because we know that there's enough money to be distributed for all walks of musicians.
Yes.
Right? If you were just willing to get your thumb
Right.
and let everybody be exposed.
But that's the importance of being a YouTube influencer, right? Like, if Robbie says, "Hey, this is my channel, Pro Synth Network. This is what I do." But by the way, when I'm not doing this, you can catch me on the pub. I love the pub. Or
Yeah.
you can catch me on Symptoms of Reality. I like to visit this channel a lot It's a part of my life. Or you can catch me on GeoSynth, or you can catch, you know.
It's just the whole word of mouth
If
thing,
there's
right?
if there's a DJ, because essentially Robbie's a DJ. Essentially, Synth Samurai is a DJ, because when he said, "Hey, I like Symptoms of Reality. I like what Trusto's doing with drones, and him and his brother got some groovy things going on." That led Uncle Jerry here. That led like George G's and Studio 8 Effect, and it just keeps going. And these people then tell their friends, and then they're, you know. But like I was telling Robbie earlier, we had a private conversation. Is our channels are going to grow much slower than channels who,
you were just going to say what I was going to say.
who depend on conflict,
Yeah.
who depend on some
Yeah.
type of polar bipolar action within the community.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because I was going to say that good word of mouth moves like frozen molasses.
Right.
Where bad word of mouth moves like fire with endless amount of oxygen.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Right.
If you don't have like that controversy or you're talking, it doesn't matter. You can talk bad about any subject.
But people like
Any
controversy.
That joke,
subject
innit? That joke, Rob.
whatsoever. Yeah, as long as you're talking bad about it or against it,
It's controversy.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
People
look,
love
you
it.
look at the thumbnails on YouTube, and those ones that are designed with, a headline.
Oh yeah.
I use this, and it sounded like what, and then the face on the thumbnail is like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
that's the stuff that YouTube will promote above anything else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it has such that huge following. I think just it's weird as a society that we just we strive and crave and thrive off of.
For that negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Marilyn, I responded to your email. Thank you very much. But I replied and I said, one of the reasons I'm here is all the positivity.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
that's
it
one
was
of the
like
main reasons.
The joke, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Was the guy was saying, he goes, he said, "You see that bridge over there?" He says, "I built that." He said, "Designed and built it." Did they call me a bridge builder? No. See that church? Designed and built that. Did they call me a church builder? No. I fuck one sheep.
You're a sheep fucker for life.
You're a sheep fucker for life.
Yep. or a hog rider for
Or a
the
hog
rest of
rider
your
for the
life.
rest of your life.
And you will
One
forever
foot
be
and they
known
call
as
you a
that.
cannibal.
Yeah.
Yep, eat 1 foot.
Yeah.
I've always said
But
that.
Well,
but
That's
you,
My dad used to say, and he's absolutely right. He used to, when I was young, he said, you can feed somebody for 30 days. You're the greatest person ever. Don't feed him for 1 day. You're a no good son of a bitch.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That is so
Jerry.
true in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like Uncle Jerry said, like there's no when Jerry came to Symptoms of Reality, there's no polar bipolar. There's just a sense of positivity, and it's always within that guideline. Like you have to care about your viewers. I remember when Studio 8 Effects said he's going to start his YouTube channel, and I go, without being a influence on him on what he should do.
Right.
I said simple words like, when you create that channel and you say your first few words, or you don't say words and you just do music, you better be mindful as to how you want your channel to look, because when it comes down to it, in the long run, if you've made a mistake and you weren't 100% yourself, and now all of a sudden you have a different idea as to what your channel needs to be, you spent 2 years, 3 years in this
For
channel
nothing.
for nothing.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to go back and you're going to lose
And
some subscribers.
restart
You're going to
over.
lose some followers, because now all of a sudden you want to be yourself. And ultimately, down the road, what's going to happen is yourself is going to come out one way or another, even if you don't want it to, because things are going to get tiring and things are going to get really weird, and you're just going to want to present your information and you want to present your channel with a certain theme and a certain quality that best represents you. What happens if you ignore that? Then you get people who start to follow you. Now, let's just say you're on a constant negative kick. Well, guess what you've built? You've built a bunch of followers that share your same mindset. Now, what happens when you have a quote unquote coming to Jesus moment? Maybe not so profound, and you have a change of the way you have this outlook on life. What happens to the little empire you built of hating armies? You know, that just feed on what you were just doing for 3 or 4 fucking years. All of a sudden, all that information you gave and all those videos you did means shit now. They're not gonna follow you. You're not on the right idea that you were on, and you turned your back on us. Now you're a traitor to your own people, you know? And I've seen that happen more times than not. You really have to pay attention as to who you are as a human being and how you want your content to go from here off. You better set the stage now, because if you don't, you're just fooling yourself.
Well, one of the things I recently found out was that what I perceived people wanted to hear me play was not what I perceived at all. I mean, on my SoundCloud page, I got all these tracks, right? They've got these lovely glossy little tracks doing all sorts of lovely and clever things, right? And some of them have 28 plays. Ooh, you know, wow. Some of them have 200 plays. And there didn't seem to be any correlation between why one track would have 200 plays and the other one would have 30 or so. But there's this one track, and I had regretted putting it up as soon as I'd put it up. And what it was a recording of me playing a CS80. But what I was doing was making up this song, for want of a better word, as I went along. So there's the tempos are out. There's a few bum notes in it. There's sort of like pauses where I'm trying to think what to do next and where to go next. Sometimes just blatant wrong notes. And then I played over it again, and trying to remember where the spaces were where I wanted something else to come in that would be the second track. So I played over the top of it, and at the end, the track literally gets faster as it goes along because I'm not keeping tempo with anything, because there's no rhythm. And it's full of mistakes and all the rest of it. And it's quite noisy and all the rest of it. It's just not, I really should be taking it down. This track has over 5,000 plays. And I go, it's the worst track on there in terms of timing, notation, well, everything. And yet this one, went through the fucking roof.
But it's a matter of perception, though, isn't it?
I was just going to say it's the eye of the beholder.
What you think is shit, other people think is great. Which
But,
why you
but
could never trust
definitely
yourself.
from a technical point of view, from a recording point, it's full of noise, for fuck's sake. Right? There's no compression, there's no delay, there's no filtering, there's no mixing. It's just me playing a CS80 twice, one on top of the other.
If people didn't enjoy,
and they loved it, fucking. I'm just going. So you really don't know what it is people actually really want.
Yeah, if people didn't enjoy noise, I truly believe we wouldn't have like heavy metal.
Right.
For me, that's noise.
But that
for
was an
other
eye
people,
opener.
that's
that was an eye
amazing.
opener for me. I must admit.
But it's like Otis Redding said. He said, "Long have I endured the days of myself out of my own music. Now I write music, and I just put it out there. Even his worst music, he said, this is absolutely fucking shit. You know what he thought absolute shit was? Sitting at the dock of the bay, cigarettes and he thought all that was bullshit, and people was loving it. So that tells you how much of a mind fuck we fuck ourselves. You know, like Lamar said earlier, there's going to be 1 million people out there that are going to love Kent Spong.
And 1 million people who don't.
And 1 million people who won't. You know, I don't know who we can, and here's the thing, I don't know who we can write music for. You know, like I don't think we'll ever see Motown again, ever. I don't think we'll ever see artists from Motown unless Motown has been recreated by an artist who appreciated Motown.
I think
you know what I mean? Like rock and roll has always been rock and roll. Rock and roll has advanced. It's evolved a little bit, but it's always been rock and roll. Like you're not going to see Motown had a time and era and space. Now, sure, there are artists who kind of give you a taste of, oh, that's what Motown used to be, but we'll never see it again unless literally the youth go, I remember those days, or I've listened to this. We need to recreate this feel again.
So I don't think you'll see it
what about
in
Atlanta in the mid '90s.
Atlantic Records?
No, Atlanta, the city.
Oh.
In the mid '90s, compare that to Motown.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
that whole
But I
hip-hop
don't think
scene
you'll
was developed there, and that was under basement recording studio, underground scene. That
Oh, you mean Dungeon Family, Outcast, and all those guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had a Motown equivalent in the sort of mid to late 80s, early 90s over here with Stock Aitken and Waterman, who had, they were exactly like Motown,
They were hit
churning out hit after hit after hit with some really talented artists that are still going to this very day, and a whole bunch that just came and went and disappeared, and we don't give a fuck. But they were churning out stuff. But I think
Rick
you're right.
Astley out that stable.
Of course.
Yeah, Rick Astley,
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue, all of those who are still going to this day, still selling out arenas and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's literally, for every Rick Astley, there was 10 pieces of shit like the Reynolds Girls or something like that. But you're right. I don't think today. I mean, today we have hit factories, but it's production teams that just work with individual artists and just churn out this formulaic stuff that it's the same.
But the music
thing.
is the least important element.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with that. I don't think there's no more of that era, right? Like the Motown era and stuff like that. I think there's no more of that era on mainstream media. Like you're not going to be able to turn it to like 95.1, on your dial and find
I
it.
think that's what you meant, to be honest with you, darling.
Huh?
I think that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you won't be able to find it anymore.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about the industry, we're talking about, that part of the industry.
That part of the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this, I did some jazz surfing last night.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And I was looking for live, I'll specify. I was looking for live trio bands on YouTube last night.
Mm-hmm.
Just a live trio band, a hardcore jazz band. I only found 2, and I even typed it in. Jazz it's not falling by the wayside. Even on social media, it's starting to dwindle. And now I'm only starting to, find jazz by the breathalyzer.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll ask someone in Discord, Tracker Jack.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things where I just think it's a transition. And you're right, Robbie. We're just not going to see these things anymore.
Right.
No.
You're really going to have to dive deep to find it.
If you want a really good live trio album, it's not necessarily jazz, it's more blues. John Mayer did a project called the John Mayer Trio.
Mm-hmm.
And they released one album called Try, and it's a live album, and it's probably the most glorious, it's just the most pure live album because it's just 3 guys on stage making amazing music with nothing else but one guitar, one bass, one set of drums, and John Mayer on vocals, and that's it. And it's just perfect. Seriously, go and find that.
What's the name of the album?
It's called Try.
Try.
With a big exclamation mark, and it's the John Mayer Trio.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
So when I hear
I hadn't heard of
country,
that, Robbie. Thanks.
Yeah.
so when I hear country music today, you know what best represents country?
Beyonce.
Damn.
Good God. Jesus. A lot of people may not know this. I don't know.
She might look like a horse from one end.
No, a donkey. Get it right.
Oh, so I do beg your pardon.
Monkey brains might know this.
I got to say, you lost me when you said I listen to country music, but go on.
Yeah. Monkey
Charlie
brains
Pride.
Ooh, Charlie. No. Okay. Things like Marty Robbins. Who knows Marty Robbins?
I've heard of them.
I know Marty Robbins.
See?
Well, I know of him.
Right. See, brains would know. So I encourage everyone to go and listen to Marty Robbins for country. It is going to blow your mind. It was the all was being captivated by the art of storytelling.
Well, and that's where George Strait and Chris Ledoux came from, right?
George
Storytelling.
Strait, and Johnny Cash did to me, that's country, right? Johnny Cash was the art of storytelling.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson. Randy Travis, Hank Williams, the first Hank Williams, senior. Like Lamar said, George Strait and Jamie Johnson. There's once those artists got into the 80s and early 90s, they were reaching their peak. Something funny happened with country music. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it was that turned me off about country music. It then became hip hop.
Boot Scootin' Boogie.
Yeah.
Boot Scootin' Boogie.
Yes, it did.
And when country music started to go into the realms of hip hop and now pop, it's like country music died a long time ago. Country music died like Randy Travis's liver from drinking too much.
Damn.
It's just out the window.
Jeez.
You know what they say?
He went there.
Rap killed the banjo solo.
Oh.
What about you, Robbie? Did you find that country was something that was actually hard for people like us to actually relate to?
It was
In
folk
some
music
aspects.
from a culture that we back then didn't really have.
I can see that.
But certain songs always came through. So like
Yes, agreed.
Wichita Lineman, Glenn Campbell.
All my exes live in Texas.
I mean. Stuff like
Bad John.
even Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, who were more that kind of traditional country song, but it wasn't just about a genre of music. It was great storytelling. It was a 3.5 minute tale from beginning to end,
Right.
and it influenced a lot of stuff that we had over here that you probably didn't get over there. So you listen to stuff by bands like Squeeze, who would tell a 3.5 minute story. It was a very country-esque kind of lyric, and in some cases, if you listen to Labeled with Love by Squeeze, it's out and out country, but it's by a British new wave band, but it is out and out country. So, but then, like you say, country got pop,
Right.
and it just took on all of those cliches
It's pure
and sensibilities.
Shit, it's pure shit.
For me, there was always this thing about you had certain country songs that came through, and they were very musical and all the rest of it. And then there was a barrage of other country songs that was all sort of like, oh, my horse left me yesterday for a Buick, and now I'm walking home.
Right.
I've only got $5 on me, and there's no battery on my phone.
Right.
And it was just like, yeah, whatever, mate. And it was like C, G, C, G,
Very
C,
formulaic.
F, G, C. And there was a lot of that.
Right.
And
But
it kind of tarnished the entire country
It
scene
did.
for a lot of people in Europe, where they were just going, this is shit. Why do people follow this?
I agree, Kent, but you could also say blues always had a great story to tell too.
Right.
Blues
But blues did well here.
But
Yeah,
blues
yeah.
did well all
But
over
weirdly,
the world.
like I
Because-
say, like
massively well.
Charlie
Blue-
Pride. Charlie Pride was one of my favourite country western singers.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he
blues-
got here, and he was big here. He was big enough to be an 8-track tape
Right.
in the UK.
Well, and
That's big.
And blues was a byproduct of the poor living conditions for not just the U.S. but for all over the world.
Yeah.
They were telling stories that we were all living. And since I'm going to agree with this with Samurai, there was a conversation that he heard that hip hop went into country music because there was such a void on the streaming platforms that it was a market that needed to be cornered by the pop label tycoons.
I totally believe that.
Because it pretty much says we're going to take the soul of country music and now make it commercial.
Right. Because hip hop is it can be a very disastrous genre, or it could be a very motivating and beautiful genre. And if it went with, in my mind, real hip hop direction for country would still be country.
Right.
but it went into this negative party, materialistic. Look
Right.
what I have and you don't. Champagne on airplanes, and women, and over glorified bullshit. You know, and that's what turned me off about it.
Hip hop, country, all that. It's all folk music. At the end of the day, it's a musical genre that started in pockets of the world where there was generally, poverty, there was injustice.
Yes.
And it fed, punk. Punk rock was another one.
Same way.
It's all folk music, as in it's music of the people, by the people.
Right.
And then of course what happens is something becomes incredibly popular, and then the industry, in inverted commas, says,
rapes it.
"Yeah, we want some of that," and then we just commercialize it, and that's it. Gone. People talk about punk rock. Certainly over here in the UK, if you speak to the average man on the street, they'll tell you that punk rock was maybe 76 to 78. Well, punk rock started a few years earlier than that. And by the time it got to 76, 78, that's when it got commercialized. And it was just like, oh, great, now the fucking big labels have got hold of it. And anyone, they're literally signing anyone that says they're punk rock, and you just get bollocks and bullshit. So never mind the bollocks, as they say. But yeah, country over here is a weird thing, because it's always been a niche genre in the UK, because of course it's a very American genre. It's a very specific, the
region,
the style of the music and the lyrics and all of that kind of stuff is very American.
Can you imagine somebody with a heavy UK accent singing country?
Well,
I mean, there are UK acts.
Who's the Australian guy? Who's the Australian?
Keith Urban.
Oh, Keith Urban. He's New Zealand guy.
Yeah. Australian.
Oh, it doesn't come out in his music.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Nor
you
does
can't hear
UK
it.
people when they sing.
No,
Right.
there's a duo over here. I think they're either husband and wife or brother and sister, or maybe they're both. I don't know. It's country, so it could be. But they are massive over here in the country scene. They're not massive, in a global sense, and apparently they have quite a big following over in the US as well. But whenever you see them interviewed on TV, the people that are interviewing them are sort of treating them with that kind of, but your country, and it's almost like they sneer at them a little bit. And I've listened to their stuff, and it's not my cup of tea, but it's not awful. But it's just kind of
Country music has such a great ability and knack to be able to tell a story.
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
yeah, and storytelling, which is folk music.
Yeah.
Folk music has always
It's
been about telling a
great.
story.
I mean, some of the stories sometimes are shit, but some of them are really good.
Right.
Like, that's a great song.
Now it's about beer, champagne on a train or a plane, and
Right.
Yeah.
I used to think, speaking of that language barrier, man, it's like you said, how Keith Urban doesn't
Yeah,
sound. I thought Sam Smith and Adele were from the States
Oh,
until I heard them
Until
speak.
you're like,
And
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
oh,
now?
You like, what?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the wife took me for my birthday years ago to see one of my favorite artists. His name is David Gray, and she didn't know he was from the UK
Oh, Mr.
until
Wobblehead.
until he started to speak, and he's got a heavy
I was like, what the
accent.
fuck? That's not
I'm
the
like,
same person
I'm like,
singing.
yeah, it is.
He's lip syncing over somebody else's track.
Right? Yeah.
So I wonder if one of the things that influenced country going out into places like England and other places was the fact that U.S. service people were stationed all over the world, and they're bringing their music, and especially if stuff that they can get a hold of that the indigenous folk can't get a hold of, blues records and things like
not
that.
Not just US service people. So the reason that Liverpool was such a massive thing in the 50s and the 60s, and still is, you could probably trace it through to the 80s at least. The reason that place was so rich in musical talent and diversity was because it was a port city. And you would get all the ships coming over from America, docking into Liverpool with whatever they were bringing, goods and whatever. But the people on the boats were bringing over the US 45s. They were and they were introducing the Brits to the blues.
And they knew there was a little black market in that. So they were motivated to bring
but
it.
Liverpool was this massive, hub. and that's why, you know, you have, when you look back through music history, there was such a rich concentration of amazing music coming out of Liverpool, because they were hearing all of that stuff that was coming over from America before even the radio stations were playing it, because the guys were bringing it over with them, and they would sell these records to the people, you know, in Liverpool, because they knew they'd get good money, so they would consciously bring them over, and so that's how we would get that massive influx. But yeah, you're right. You know, whenever a population moves into another area, another country, whether it's for, you know, the armed services or through trade or whatever, they bring with them a part of their culture. And, you know, it's like the Jamaicans over here. So we had this massive influx of Jamaicans in the 50s, in the Windrush generation, that brought over reggae and ska, and within 20 years the most popular styles of music in the UK were reggae and ska for a number of years. And then we had this, you know, this rich vein of bands that were like, you know, UB40 and the Beat and the
jazz
Specials
funk era.
It was all black and white people together just making music.
That's funny you said that, Robbie, because I was just talking to Tom Tracker Jack about this, because I had just recently found Yusef Daves, right? And his dad is Jamaican and his mom is white. He's mixed. I'm sure you guys probably know who I'm talking about, but he has this UK but yet Jamaican way about him in his dialogue, and he sounds like he's both, especially by the way he speaks. But his music that he comes across, it's definitely, you could tell it's that, you know, it's Jamaican with some UK twist to it.
Right.
And the fact that you said that, it was just like, yeah, I see that.
Right.
Yeah.
I see how these genres come up now.
If you listen to UB40's first album,
I used to wear that shit out when I was 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, their first album is such a melting pot of Jamaican musical influences through the reggae, but also then this hardcore British political commentary as well. So it was this beautiful kind of amalgamation of you know, the grooves and the rhythms that were coming over from Jamaica, and then the strong political sentiment. And you know, that's not to say that you know, certain reggae acts. I mean, you know, Bob Marley was incredibly
Yellow
political.
Man. Paul Holmes is Yellow Man. Wow.
Yeah,
yes.
Yellow Man.
The way it was explained to me was what happened to punk. It merged with sound system. And
Oh God, yeah, punk and
80s.
reggae, boom.
And that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But when
John
people
Lydon.
say-
John Lydon was a big kind of catalyst for that kind of fusion. He was a huge reggae fan, and of course he was the lead singer in the Sex Pistols, and he was part of that kind of that drawing together of these two. Essentially, you know, they were two subversive cultures that were more than just the music. They were art. They were a lifestyle. They were a dress code. You know, it was.
Did you guys notice though? Genres became pretty particular back in the 80s. But if you were good, like Michael McDonald, like what's the guy that sang Bobby Cadwell or Cadwell, UB40. If you were good at what you did, you were accepted. I remember Black Holmes playing these white artists with no problem, right? Because they did the music justice. They didn't put out some bullshit that you were not going to like and kind of sell themselves short.
But they stuck to their.
But they stuck to the genre and they did a great job.
And the genre was the genre hardcore. I don't care if you talk about blues, rock, reggae, rap. If you could tell if it was a real entity of the genre. Now, what happened with punk was punk became this diluted shit that really wasn't punk music. It started to turn into fuckboy music.
Like Blink-182.
Because the real Blink-182 wasn't real punk music. It was funk. It was like fuckboy music. The real punk music I grew up on was like Floggy Molly and Black Flag and artists who were literally stating an agenda from a stance of you know, not rioting in the streets, but
rebellious.
Their protest was in the music, and that protest built a following of rejects from society. You know, so
Well,
now
the LA punk scene was different.
it was.
Yeah,
It
that was
was.
the 80s. You're talking about.
Yeah.
It's late 70s and 80s. But not
Right.
English.
Right.
Yeah.
But that it was true to the genre is what I'm saying. And,
Oh, yeah. They were
and
hardcore.
and nowadays we don't have too many things that's true to the genre.
I balk at whenever people call, you know, that kind of wave of, I think it was only ever really in America they were called punk bands, but like you say, you know, your Blink 182s and all that kind of stuff. They weren't punk as in what we experienced in the mid 70s.
Yeah.
That it's just what they just weren't. They didn't embody any. Punk wasn't just the music. You see, punk was a movement. Punk was a lifestyle. It was an art form. It was visual. It was sonic. It was about the clothes you wore, the things you believed in, the music you listened to, and so much more. It was just. It was a movement. And then unfortunately, what happened was, the McLaren. I mean, Malcolm McLaren was. I wouldn't say he invented the kind of the genre, but he was certainly instrumental in so many parts of it because he was behind the fashion as well as the music. He was behind some of the political beliefs, situationism, and all this kind of stuff. You know, he was designing clothes with swastikas on, but done in a way that was disrespectful to what the swastika stood for as we knew it back then.
Well, everything was about disrespecting authority.
Yeah, disrespecting the establishment.
Everything that just pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the
you know,
Queen.
exactly.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
The monarchy, the government, everything was, you know, it was a form of rebellion, but it wasn't just music.
Yeah.
It was so many other things.
So Blink 182 was considered punk.
Yeah, well, I think the
You're
American,
fucking kidding me.
the American music industry took on.
It's a
They
joke.
just called them punk bands because they played rock and roll music at fairly fast speeds, and maybe they shouted a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not know that.
They stuck safety pins through their body and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Right.
But it wasn't. Yeah, I
For
mean,
us, it was punk. You know,
If you had a mohawk, you were punk.
we went from the Carpenters to them. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, but punk was an enema. Punk was a cultural enema that it literally wiped. It flushed out the excesses and indulgences that were lurking in not just the music industry but the fashion industry and art as a whole. It literally, you know, cleared out the pipes and brought in this attitude where anybody could do anything if they wanted to do it, and it didn't have to be polished or good.
Right.
It just had to mean something to you.
Right.
And then what then happened is punk eventually got commercialized, but it then laid the ground for what was to come afterwards, where you'd have the introduction of technology such as synthesizers and drum machines, and you'd have people taking these things up and making the music. It didn't sound like punk rock music, but it was still punk in essence, in that it was what they wanted to listen to and their small group of friends.
Yeah.
But eventually that became popular and then eventually got exploited.
Like everything else.
Like everything does, exactly. But
You
this
know-
is what we need. We need cultural moments, because punk was a reaction to, you know, the 70s, which politically was a pretty rough time. There was lots of, you know, shit going on in all around the world, you know, not just in America and the UK, but all over the place. And it was a reaction to the establishment. It was you know, stick your two fingers up at all of this kind of stuff. And those sort of cultural situations spawn these kind of movements. Unfortunately, now the music industry has got to a point where it's very difficult for those movements to rise above, because the only way they're going to do that is to become commercialized, and then of course you've lost the whole fucking point. So,
Right. Exactly.
Right.
You know, in the awards show, when somebody's giving out their speech and they do this, they turn on like the music and you can't hear them. That's like telling them, wrap it
Shut
up.
up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hook's coming.
Okay. One
I'm
thing
just
is
enjoying the music.
one thing is agreed here. We need to have. It would be nice to have more of these conversations on PSN, on the pub. I think it's a thing that's not talked about a lot, right? And you get to see how passionate people really are and what they remember and what they consider music to be. And I just, no matter what, I don't see enough of these conversations because I could tell we're all very spirited about it. And it just needs to be said, like, you know, hey, this is our idea of real music. And I think real music is disappearing from our very lives. And it needs to be talked about so kids have a trail to follow.
Don't say that. I just made a video before we came on today.
Yeah. Well,
real music.
Music is alive and well here.
It's alive and well here, but let me tell you.
This one piece of music. This one piece.
Yeah. I think the industries, we need to stay away from certain industries.
Well, see, use a dirty word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give my stuff away. Here, take it. It's free.
Yeah.
Learn from it. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, tomorrow, don't forget, we have Andrew Longhurst on his interview.
I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to be jamming here with the crew.
Oh,
I'll watch you on catch up, but the EMPS will be generating more content, I hope, including Fred will be here.
But
nice.
Oh, that's right. Gary likes to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Garen's one of us. One of us.
Jerry, yes.
But wait, there's more. Before we go.
Yeah. You got the Marmite.
Jerry got Marmite.
Have you tried it?
God,
No,
Jerry.
it's still sealed. I think I'm going to do a live.
Yeah, do a live and then go try it, and we will watch you.
God.
We're going to watch Uncle
Everybody
Jerry throwing up into a bucket.
go.
And I'm going to go off and purchase shares in Marmite.
Yeah, right? All the
Jerry.
Americans are buying the Marmite.
Jerry, do not eat that shit off a spoon. Whatever you do not eat it off a spoon like we did.
I bought some
Or
English
French
muffins.
It's
A little
chaw.
bit of
You
butter
put
and a
between
thin
each
layer
gum.
is what I'm told.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Thick as you can get it.
Don't go in too hard too early.
Big wad.
Oh my
Big wad.
TCO like
God.
Marilyn
You are a
gonna
Marmite
slap
virgin. Be gentle.
Okay, I'm gonna link Uncle Jerry's World's YouTube right now. Go it as soon as we get off. You know he's going live.
Yep.
So go and watch him taste Marmite.
Make sure
No,
you
I'm
wa-
not doing it tonight. Not tonight.
Oh, not tonight? Why
No,
not?
Yeah, because you want to sleep. That's why.
Yeah, not tonight.
Don't fry that man's taste
Well,
buds.
subscribe so you can get the notifications on when he
When he
does
is
try
gone.
the Marmite.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Oh my God, I cannot wait.
Guys, make sure you're here tomorrow for Andrew
Yep,
Longhurst
2
interview.
p.m.
Yeah,
Yes.
bring your pillows and your nightcaps.
Yeah, didn't he work for somebody?
I think
Might
he
be
used
here
to
for
work
the
for a
beginning.
company. Ask him what companies he used to work for.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find out.
Because nobody knows.
We'll
No,
we'll,
no, it's a-
He never
dive-
talks about it, does he?
We'll dive
No, he never
deep
talks
in.
about where he worked.
Yeah. All right, everybody. My tummy is a
Make the Sound
growling.
Blaster.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry. I need dinner.
Yeah.
It's 9 p.m.
We're eating late
Longhurst
again.
is the
Late
A in
again.
Sound Blaster AWE. Don't you know that?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. We're going to
there
find
you
out.
go.
I'll tell you that.
All right, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Good night, all.
It was fun
Thank
tonight.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep,
Thanks,
it was.
everybody, for
See
coming
y'all
in.
later.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.